amazing. If you didn't see my live, you didn't see what I just did with my head. If you didn't look at you didn't see the chains. Yeah. But how you beautiful souls, you beautiful people doing this lovely evening. I got that shaman music in the background, getting us live and ready. I'm gonna let the room fill up a little bit more as we get to where we need to get to and understanding what we need to get to. There's some steps that a lot of people skip. There's a lot of steps that people don't even realize that they've already done. So what I've decided is to break down a couple of these steps and these processes that we're going through, that we getting stuck on. To get ready for this Matrix lecture, just as I'm getting ready, like this big. So I'm looking at the thing wrong. But our thought processes that we're getting into now, a lot of people are getting stuck. And I've noticed I'm doing the consultation and I'll have that price list up for that. They start breaking into that. A lot of people are waiting. If you're waiting on a sign, you're going to be waiting forever because you're not even realizing that just you coming in tune to letting certain things resonate with you in your mind right now at this time. Just that thought process. That's your sign. A lot of us, we're still stuck in the ego base of it. That main important thing is killing that humanity in that aspect. Because you have to understand this. Everything begins in your mental. Once you start changing your mentality, once you start changing your behaviors, once you start tapping into and looking at your habits and the things that you're doing in your life in your day-to-day, everything around that changes. Remember, I'm always going to say that there's no such thing as good and bad. It's negative and positive. It's only negative and positive. A lot of us get stuck in. I always like how people they'll send you a message like, "What's up?" and then you've already sent the information, and then they don't seem to understand and want to. That also shows you something. Let's get on that part. A lot of times we get stuck in the mainframe of we're waiting for something to take us to the next point. We're waiting for something to work out. We're waiting for something to go through. We're waiting on something to give us what we already have. We're waiting on something to give us power when we already have the power. We're waiting on something to give us power, give us insight, give us that nudge, give us that push. You already stepping into it. That's your nudge. That's your push. What's holding you back is everything behind you. Everything that is behind you. Everything that is behind you is what's holding you back. You don't want to offend anybody. You don't want your job to look at you funny. You don't want this to go wrong. If you're with somebody, if they're not on that frequency with you, you don't want to leave them behind. These are the things that are holding you back. They showed it in a cartoon when they did the last Airbender movie, and he was telling Aang, you got to let go of everything. He didn't want to let go of old girl. These are the things. What are you willing to sacrifice if you know it's going to make you better? What are you going to sacrifice if you know ultimately this is that God frequency, this is that God mind mentality? What are you going to do when you get there can only be answered when you get there. A lot of times in our lives, we tend to get stuck in this mindset of, I'm going to go here when I have the time. I'm going to go here. If you find out what you need to find, put it like this. If you find out if you find out exactly what you want to know, what are you going to do with the information? If you took your man's phone or your girl's phone and you looked through their phone and you found messages of them cheating on you, what are you going to do with the information? Are you going to leave? Or are you going to ask a bunch of questions that you already have the answers to? Or you don't even need the answers to? You're appeasing to your ego because now you want to validate. You want them to validate what they did based on what you've done. You see how you stifle yourself in the past? A lot of us stifle ourselves in the past based on things that we used to think. A lot of us stifle ourselves based on the things we used to think, the things we used to go through, the things we've been through, and we allow those things to bleed into our everyday, bleed into our present. That's what keeps you plugged in. All this shit that's going on is what's keeping you plugged in. It's what's keeping you getting siphoned. It's what's keeping you at it's what's keeping you at that vibration. It's what's keeping you at that level. You can't do anything at that level because that level was designed for exactly what it's doing. You can't change somebody, or you can't change somebody's thought process of how they're thinking or what they're going to do next because that's what they're designed in that space. If they're in that space doing the same thing in that space, you can't change them in that space. You can't, here, take this and this, this, and this. A lot of, like, one thing that I have noticed, that I've come to notice, and it's like, that's the psychological program. Everything that happens in the physical, remember, is the representation of what's going on, what's firing, what's triggering, and what's firing off in the mental, and what came down from that spiritual side. So your inability to digest, that person's inability to digest the information that you saying is knowledge, I got facts, I got stuff. It does no good if they're not going to read. It does no good if they're not going to carry it on. It does no good for you to put that information there other than to put that seed there. Outside of planting the seed, okay, you dropped a little bit of knowledge, you dropped the jewels, okay, cool. Leave it there, go on about your business. You have to be willing to leave, drop it and go. Drop and go, drop and go. You can't wait for anybody else to want to hold your hand because it's not going to be how they put it. That's the religious mind state where they're saying you come into the body of Christ and you come into this, you come in here, everybody's in the same wavelength. We're all children. We're all on the same level. That is a horrible fucking lie. It's a fucking lie. For me to sit here and come from the level that I come from, I can't come from this level if I was at the level that who needs to hear it is at. They've programmed us so many times, like that outside thought process of programming is where they set your mindset. They set you in that thought process of everybody's everybody. These are the trigger words. Everybody's everybody. Everybody's human. All these, everybody trying to do this collective thought process in your mindset so that you feel bad for crossing a finish line. You feel bad for going to the next level. You need the person that is ahead of you in order to learn. You need the things that are in front of you in order to learn. You need those hurdles. You need those steps. You need those obstacles. You need these things to come to the surface within you to take you to the next level, because that's what's holding you down. They put us in this thought process all the time. They group you in trauma. They group you in trauma. That's how they herd you. They keep everybody herded in the same lines on trauma. They herd you in trauma. A lot of the relationships that we build, that I've noticed have been built, are built on benefits of, okay, you have this and I have this. We're on this same level. But as long as I have this, if I got the car and you got the house, okay, cool. Well, if you need to get anywhere, you know I got the car, and you know if I need somewhere to sleep, you got the house. Okay, cool. What happens when the person that has the car now can get their own place? What happens when the person that has their own place, y'all been doing that, sharing everything, they're able to get their own car? Every time you go to another level, there's a different set of things that you're going to have to go through. There's a whole nother process. I read my Facebook memories today, and I wrote something. I'll probably look it up later and share it. But I didn't realize, and as I'm looking at my memories, I'm looking at the things that I've done in the last 4 or 5 years of me coming into this stage of my awakening. I was already awakened. I was already conscious. I was already awakened. I was already aware. You're just going through certain stages. If you're looking for something outside of you, this is what it breaks down to. If you're looking for something outside of you to say where you're at, you'll never get to where you need to go. If you're looking for something outside of you to tell you where you're at, you'll never get where you need to go. Because you're constantly I'm waiting on a sign. I'm waiting on Shun to give me the next sign for me to go forward. I'm waiting on Shango to give me the next sign to go forward. I'm waiting on Ra. I'm waiting on all the Orishas. I'm waiting on whatever pantheon that you are studying at that moment in time to give me the sign. Why are you waiting on something outside of you when you're already on that level? You're simply learning everything it is about that level. You're already there. You just have to learn the steps. You're already in that space. You're already there. I had somebody asked me, it was like, do you know how to read tarot cards? I was like, I've dibbled and dabbled in them a little bit, yes. Can you teach me? I was like, I can take you through the process of teaching you. So when do I get to the cards? I was like, there's a process before you even get to them, because this is about understanding your energy and your spirit. Coming from the angle that I only can show you the methodology, the methods, and the steps that are taken that I have worked on and I've used and I've developed and invoked as I invoke and evoke that take you to a certain level. You have to evoke your lower and invoke from your higher. That means you pull it down from the higher. That's that invoke, and evoking is when you're rising into it. A lot of people are stuck in the invoke, and they haven't even started evoking yet, because you're not letting go of the stuff that's coming up. You're not letting go of the shit that you need to let go of. You're not letting go of the grief, the stress, the agony, the regrets, the resentments that you need to let go of in the aspect of now allowing it to fall the fuck off, because now you're stuck. Now I don't want to do that part because that doesn't make sense to me. You have to allow these steps to come into play, or you're going to be stuck at that level. Everything on that level is going to be the same shit to resonate with you. And now some people can get so aware on a certain level. You can get so aware in a certain space that you know everything about that space. And now you know how to manipulate within that space. But in order for you to do anything else, you got to step to the next space. I've seen a lot of people, they get stuck in a certain space, and then you'll bond based on trauma. And when I say bonding on trauma, I'm meaning you're bonding on, if you're still upset, remember there's nothing wrong with it. If you're still upset and you're still in thought process that the white man is holding you down, the white man is doing a bunch of things to you, you need to work on that. Why do you feel, and it's about personal, it's about being selfish to yourself first. Why do you yourself personally feel that the white man is holding you down? Why do you? Not why does Sister Simmons, Brother Allmac, and everybody else on your timeline feel that the white man is holding them back? Why do you feel like they're holding you back? I've had countless conversations, and the minute they start getting to that part, I don't feel or it doesn't resonate with me, and I just sit there and just start observing. Like, oh, y'all still stuck on this part. Y'all still stuck on the Willie Lynch letter. Y'all still stuck. Y'all are on levels that I've already passed. Y'all are still at the first gate of death, the first of the gates, and I'm like on my seventh gate. I'm pulling down more information than I'm evoking. I'm invoking more than I'm evoking now at this point in time. I'm summoning more energy. I'm summoning and taking on that level of energy more than I'm getting myself right. But it's because I took the steps. I had a conversation that I was talking the other day. Somebody asked me about my family, and I was like, you do not know, you truly don't know what level you're on until you're able to say certain things and do certain things. Until you're able to do them and you feel a thing of release, there's no regret, there's no resentment. It's like, that's death. That's similar when Biggie says in the Biggie song, if I died, it's kind of quiet, no stress. That's how you know you died. That's how you know you have transcended to the next level. When there's no regret, when you're just let go of all that shit and none of it resonates with you. That's similar to, I can have a conversation. I used to have, one of my biggest things as I was going through, as I was coming into my awakening, was keeping my family intact. Because at a point in time, family was so important to me. Family's still important to me, but I have a different outlook and a view and I have a different view on what family is to me. It follows that same paradigm. It follows that same definition. So since I'm following that definition, anything that doesn't resonate with that definition isn't considered family to me. It isn't considered beneficial. It's not considered to me. And these are things that we have to start understanding. These are the extremes that you have to, in order to set your mind into the mindset and in the mind frame that you're going to go to the next level and you're ready to do something, you have to allow the extremes to take effect. You have to be willing to say, I have unconditional love for my mother, but based on where I'm at, mentally, spiritually, physically, where I'm at in my life, what's over there, what they're doing, what they've been doing, what they continuously go through, the constant toxicity that's in that realm, on that vibration, I can't be a part of it. There's no such thing as good and bad. There's negative and positive. It's negative for them because now they don't have your power to feed from, but it's positive for you because now you have more of your power back. psychologically, a lot of the times, mentally in our minds, we don't take steps because we're waiting for signs of something that we've already been through. Instead of looking, when you put your mindset into the signs that you look at something on a certain thought process, like I looked at this. I'm not going to talk to I'm not going to talk to fuck niggas. Niggas ain't shit. I'm not going to talk to guys that do this, and this. Okay. So what about the guys that don't do those things, but they do these things? They've evolved past the signs that you're used to seeing, and they've learned how to match them and manipulate them because they know what they need to do. That's why I don't fuck with niggas. It was like, all right, cool. Same thing when you think about females. When you're thinking on a certain level, everything is a reflection of yourself. So the things that are going to come into your life, if your life has been challenge after challenge after challenge after challenge, the people that come into your life or the reflections of the entities that come into your life are going to be challenging. They're going to further challenge you because you need to be further challenged. They're going to further challenge you. You're not going to get it the same way you got it before. It's not going to come to you the same way it came to you before because you're not at the level where it was coming to you before. We get stuck. Our people get stuck on sentimental value. Our people get stuck on sentimental value all the time. We get stuck on what we're used to having. We get stuck on the same foods, the same clothes, the same avenues, the same routes, the same actions, the same day-to-day things every single day. But then you steady complaining about the things that you're used to that shit happening. Why are you can't complain about some shit if you're always doing it. Why would you allow yourself to stay in a space that's not working for you? Why are you asking for a space or a level to change when that level is doing exactly what it's supposed to do? It's you that needs to change. You're that glitch in the matrix. You're going to get to a point where you're too big. It's like if you take a goldfish and you put it in a fish bowl and you put it in a little small bowl, like a little bag from the carnival or the pet store, it stays that small. But as you change the environment, it grows. As you change the environment, if you change your mental grows and your environment expands. The things that you're trying to hold on to no longer fit your environment because now you're finding yourself in the spiritual realm, you're finding yourself having to turn your shit down. In the spiritual realm, you're turning your vibration down. In the mental realm, you got to slow down your thinking. Now in the physical realm, you got to go further out to go get to it. And when I say further, I don't necessarily mean further in the aspect of it can be a distance like 3, 4, 5 miles away, an hour, however much time away. I'm talking about you go through the entire thought process in your mind. The physical is that, okay, man, it's like 2 hours, it's like 30 minutes to get over there. If I go over there, I know I'm going to be hungry. They ain't going to have nothing I'm going to eat over there. So then I got to stop by somewhere to get something to eat. Then I got to think about everybody else when I go over there to go get something to eat. So I got to think about everybody else over there and see if they want something to eat. And then I got to make this whole production. And then I can't wear my onyx. I can't wear my crystals. I can't wear my onyx. I can't wear my Lucifer pendant. I can't wear my Baron Somni shirt. I can't wear certain things. So you got to take all this shit off to go fit in somewhere else. The name of this game is you're at the next level. Let them come to you. You build it and they'll come. You're going to the next level. Waiting on others to come to that level is going to keep you below. It's going to keep you stifled. It's going to keep you. And then that's when you're going to get upset. That's when you get upset. That's when you start getting fucking irritated all the fucking time. That's when you start getting mad all the fucking time because you start getting restless. Your anxiety kicks in. All of these little triggers that are kicking in are telling you to move the fuck away from it. Your feelings Your intuition, that little chill that you get, that's what's telling you what you need to do next. You do not have to apologize for bettering yourself. You do not have to apologize for putting yourself into a position that's bettering you. I'm sorry I had to do it. Fuck you apologizing for. I don't apologize for anything that I do. On a grand scale, I don't apologize for shit that I do. I don't apologize for shit that I say. If you ask me, if you need clarification for what I said, I'll give you clarification. But I'm not apologizing for what I said because I'm coming from a space of knowing. I'm not apologizing for shit that I say because I'm coming from a different space. I can say something to you. What I'm showing you is, guess what? You have to put your mindset into, I'm not apologizing for what the fuck I'm saying. I'm not apologizing for the level that I'm on. Because automatically, these are the triggers that start coming into play when that happens. You start expressing truth, you start expressing knowledge, a person will look at you either like you crazy or be like, you think you're better than everybody else. I don't think shit. Go further, I know I'm better than everybody else. But check this out, sis. Check this out. Check this out, King. Check this out, God. Check this out, sis. Check this out. You're better than everybody else, too. You just don't have the confidence in yourself. You don't have that Godfidence. Trademark pending. You don't have that Godfidence for yourself to say that you can step above some shit. You want to fit in with everybody else. You want to bond based on trauma. That's what this matrix, that's the main thing this matrix does is it bonds you based on trauma. It bonds you based on trauma. That's how you get stuck in this shit. You are bonded based on trauma. And I'm gonna tell you some shit that's even fucking crazier. They're hitting you with a barrage of these things. You don't even realize that you're being hit with a barrage of these things because you don't even understand your own. You don't understand. They're not going. They gave you a sense of moral. They gave you morality. They gave you a code of ethics, morality, humanity. They gave you all these things to fit into a human box. They gave you writings that you wrote down. Yeah, you wrote that shit down. That we wrote down for us. When we read the information, it resonates and takes us to the next level. It activates something within us. When they read it, they need the Bible. They need the Quran. They need religion because they can't see how you see. They need that shit. They truly, in their heart of hearts, in their dead minds, need that shit in order to move forward. They need that shit. Because you got to think about it. Really think about it in this matrix. These motherfuckers will say in the text that they'll read you a holy text and they'll say, God bless America. In that same thought process, in that book, in their 10 commandments, grafted from the 42 laws of Ma'at, they'll sit there and say, thou shalt not kill. But everything from the food that you're eating, everything from what you're listening to, what you're seeing, if you don't have any understanding of it, that's what's killing you. It keeps you, you're already dead. You're already dead. That's the fucking key. You're already dead here. When you awaken and you go through, you're coming through these levels, the different levels of consciousness, what we're going to get into tonight. When you're going through these different levels, you're awakening. The only way you can awaken is if you have been asleep. The only way you can come into new life is if you have been dead. So most of us are afraid. Most people are afraid of death. You're already dead. You cannot be afraid of something that you already are. You can't fight against some shit that you already are doing, that you already are a part of. You cannot sit. I can't sit here and say, lost my whole train of thought. I cannot sit here and be like, oh shit, I'm going through a crisis. You've been going through the crisis. You're just now being aware that it's happening. It's like if your man been cheating on you for like half the damn relationship, y'all been together for 2 years and that nigga cheated on you for 1 year and 6 months. You've been being cheated on. You just are now aware and awake to the fact that it's happening. Now that you already had all the knowledge, it's already all been there. It's already within inside of you. Now you're just seeing it. Now you're actually seeing it. Now the image is coming to you. Now what are you going to do with it? If you're doing any of this shit, you're doing any of the work just to make your conditions better here, and that's your sole purpose, you're doing it wrong. That's the only time I'm going to say you're doing something wrong. If you're only doing it, if you're only learning magic to learn money rituals and how to get a man and how to get a woman, how to get someone in your life and how to make some more money and how to put a hex on somebody, you're feeding the matrix because they've already showed you in the movies and everything that they show you. That's what it's meant for. That's what they use it for. Because that's all they can use it for. So now you're stuck. Now you're feeding the entities that feed upon you using it in a malicious way. That feed upon you using it in the way. That's one way. That's a lower level of what it was intended for. So you can get a byproduct. That's the byproduct. I talked about that earlier this week. The mundane is the byproduct of the creation. The mundane is the byproduct of the creation. Every reaction that you give them, and that's what they feed off, that's the mundane. But they had to use your power to create, because you're the only creator. We're the only creators. Think about it. We're the only creators. So the mundane byproduct, which is our fear, which is our emotion, which is everything that we go through and we argue about and debate over, that's what they're feeding off of. So in order to make sure you never get to your creator status and get to that highest status of yourself, they had to teach you to separate you away from them, to put them above you. And now you're so convoluted in the thought process and you're so dead, you laying there, that you don't want to take the same. They're giving you the steps every time they do it. They're so arrogant that you're not going to do anything. That's how that shit wins. In your life, there's people that are so arrogant that you need something from them that they'll do anything they fucking want. That's the physical representation. It comes in everything is everything. Motherfuckers that are in your life, there was people in my life at a certain point in time, and there's like stories on top of stories on top of that, where, for example, I remember the first time I moved back to where I'm at now. And this is like 6-7 years ago. We'll say about 6-7 years ago. I can dictate my years. I can do that whole timeline thing. I remember like it was like my first real place to myself. It was like my first place. I didn't have a roommate. I didn't have a roommate. I didn't have nobody staying with me or need anybody to stay with me. I had my own place. I had my own space, my own sanctuary. But I was still in that human aspect of when I eat, everybody else eats. So I remember the reality set in when this moment happened. I remember like, yeah, I went and ordered some pizzas, text up a couple of people that I was dealing with, fucking with at the time. Everybody came over, ate pizza, they smoked, they drank, then they would leave. This same method would happen over and over and over again. So I felt my ego was like, hell yeah, man, I got the spot. But I was mainly more happy in order for me to continue in order for me to continue feeding from that energy. I had to keep providing the same shit. In your life, the only way certain things feed on you and connect to you is if you're providing the same energy. You're providing the same triggers and the traumas. If you're still in that same trauma or in that same space, the same shit can come to you every fucking time. A lot of people get stuck on religion and saying fuck religion and fuck religion and fuck religion and fuck Christianity and fuck Muslims and fuck them fucking Hebrew Israelites and fuck all these people. In that thought process, they get so stuck on that, you are ultimately attracting that to yourself because you haven't understood what it is to understand. That's why it keeps coming at you. That's the same thought process when you walking around, man, fuck them women, man, niggas ain't shit, niggas ain't shit, niggas ain't shit, niggas is dogs, man, bitches ain't loyal, hoes ain't loyal, da-da-da-da, all that shit. They keep coming around you because you haven't learned what the fuck, you're at that level. That's when you have to start when you raise yourself up, everything else falls into place. Everything happens as it's supposed to happen. The same game and the same tactics don't work at the higher level. That's what it means about that resonation. That's what it means about shit resonating with you. Certain shit ain't gonna click in. Certain shit ain't gonna kick in anymore. Certain shit ain't gonna work. Just like you're not gonna be able to use the same tired ass game on queens and women in the spiritual, like the spiritual sisters. You ain't gonna be able to use that game that you used on Daphne and whoever you dealt with back in the day, because they're at a different level. They have a different awareness. They're more in tune with their intuition. They're more in tune with their power. That's that challenging. So you wanted to go into that level, you have to accept the challenges of that level. A lot of people always try to change people. The main reason only people try to change somebody is because they haven't accepted who they are. Because that person hasn't accepted who they are. The reason people are constantly trying to put you in this state of change that they try to put you in and put it in your face is because they have to have the upper hand in that. They haven't accepted who they are, so you have to accept it. A person that's truly in tune with their whatever the fuck they are doesn't have to do anything or say anything to you to pertain upon what they're saying in order to throw it in your face. I watched the messages come from everywhere. I was watching on YouTube earlier, and there was a Breakfast Club clip. No, I think it was on my Facebook channel or something. I think it was on wherever I got information from. It was a member. I think it was like a transgender or somebody of the LGBTQWXYZ community, and it was like it said. It went along the lines of saying, I don't have to force. The reason that we're getting into this state that we're in now is because somebody's trying to force somebody else's thoughts down somebody else's throat to accept it for validation. That's what it boils down to. I don't go into, I see videos about I remember I used to see the videos when dudes wanted to go, I'm gonna go walk into the church tomorrow and drop all this knowledge that I just found. Why? Why? What you're telling yourself, what you're telling the universe, what you're telling your energy is, I'm gonna lower my vibration to an attack because I gotta go down there. I share. I'm gonna take myself to this position. I'm gonna lower my vibration. This is what you're doing. I'm gonna lower my vibration, go down to this space in this realm overhead to drop this knowledge off. And then I know what's gonna happen. There's gonna be an argument. Someone's not going to agree with me. And then I'm like, see, that's this, and this. And then you're gonna go back and forth. What did you prove? That you can walk into a church? Okay. That you can walk up and debate somebody? Okay. That you know something? Okay. All you're doing is patting your fucking ego. You will never see me involved in a march or a protest in the aspect of stopping something or talking about changing some law. Past that. Been there, done that. My ancestors already been there, done that. They done that part for me. I ain't got to do that no more. We're getting stuck. We're literally getting stuck in the shit that's already happened. And then that's why it's not working. The reason that you get stuck on a certain space is because the shit don't work no more. There's no power in that house anymore. They shut the power off. They put the cutoff notice on that shit a long ass time ago. It's a dead issue. It's already been handled. Everything that was going to come out of that space has already came out of that space. Everything that came out of that space has already came out of it. Why are you going back to it? That's why a lot of us will go repeat over and over and over again in relationships that don't fucking benefit you anymore. Because you know what to expect. If you came into the awareness to yourself and you realize some shit ain't working over there, it ain't worth your time anymore, why are you going back to it? Psychologically, you're still stuck over there. I don't know nothing about what's going on over there. I'm going to go over there because I know exactly what's happening over there. I know exactly what to expect. I know there's going to be an argument, and then you start telling yourself, all families argue. Everybody going through some shit. Man, I feel bad if I don't stay. I don't feel bad. Man, if something happened to them, then I'm going to feel bad. The fuck are you feeling bad for something happened to somebody else? What they eat does not make you shit. What are you feeling bad for something that happened to somebody else? Why do you feel this regret in yourself for something that's happening to somebody else? Why are you, how does it work? Why are you disturbing somebody else's karma? Why are you going to somebody else's karma? Why are you trying to say, you don't even understand? Somebody else, they did something that caused that's happening in their life. All you're seeing, since you're bonding on the trauma, is damn, nobody should go through that. But you don't know what the fuck they did to even get to that point. You don't know what lines up after they get through that point. That's that hard part. That's that caring versus compassion. I have compassion for everybody I know. I have compassion for everybody. You feel me? I have compassion for everybody, not just my queens and kings and queens, guys and goddesses. I have compassion for everybody because everybody's going through something in their level of their life for themselves. But I don't care because all I can do, since I have compassion, is drop down what I can drop down to what that resonates with them. If they come into my field of view and they hear someone, they get a jewel or two and they can use it for their life, is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Nah. I meant this when I did that. No. The shit that I put out is doing what it's supposed to do because it's resonating with you on your life, on your level, on your stream, on your frequency, where you're at. I don't expect the shit that I've been through to affect you. So why should the things that I do to fix what I've been through are not going to affect you the same? That's the thought process. That's another key to that. You're waiting on somebody else to come where you're at. I don't want to leave from over here, man, because I'm a lot of times like that's even, remember, the spirit starts in the spiritual, ends in the physical. It comes in different representations. There's a lot of people that don't even want to move from a certain place because they're used to what comes up over there. They know it's bullshit. Like they literally know it's bullshit, but they can't see anything past that. So that's what I'll give you an example. If somebody was living in income-based housing and that's their generational curse, that income-based housing is a big ass it's a big ass generational curse for our people. If they're going through that, and then someone says, why would you give up having all of these things given to you and then stress? Their perception is the more responsibility that they have for their own shit, the more responsibility they have, the more accountability do you have. The more responsibility you have, the more accountability you have. So just like I said, 98% of religion isn't even spiritual. 98% of the people that are in religion aren't even religious. %98 of spiritual religion is almost 99.8. I think went up a percent. I thought is not nothing, has nothing to do with spirituality. The 98% of the people that are in religion aren't even religious. They just like not having the responsibility and not having to take accountability for their actions. They're happy being slaves. There's just like the slave that they show in the slave movie that was mad at Kunta because he was like, when Master's sick, I'm sick. Master gave me the good hardwood floors. Master, whenever I get sick, I get the good corn liquor. These thought processes in your mind, it's just repeating itself. Remember, the universe, our energy doesn't speak in words. It speaks in numbers. It speaks in sounds. It speaks in vibration. So it's on that same wavelength of vibration. So when a person looks at you in that aspect to yourself, when they take that thought process and they look at it in themselves, that's what they're showing you. They're showing you that they're happy being slaves. They're showing you that they're happy being in that space because they can benefit from that space. They're showing you everything you need to do to know how to react and move forward. How are you going to move forward? You can do all the detective work you want to try to break down. You can show them breakdowns, give them charts, pie charts, fucking graphs, everything to show them how you're benefiting, how it's going to work. But until you actually put in the work, you haven't shown them anything. You're giving them more of what they're used to. It's only until you put that fucking work in does anything fucking start happening for you. It's until you take those fucking steps and you go to that next level, does that shit actually fucking work for you. That's the magic. If I believe and have faith, the only reason you have faith because you don't want to put no fucking work in. It's nice to have knowledge. It's nice to be able to have the intellectual part of the knowledge. It's nice to be able to read. It's nice to have a little bit of power in your fucking sleeve. It's nice for it. But if you're only using it to make, if your sole purpose of using it is to make the environment here better, you're not doing anything. You might as well go get a fucking job at fucking Applebee's. You might as well go get the job at Applebee's. You might as well go to that little used car lot over there, get yourself a nice little beater, ride up and down the street, go get you some rims from the Written Roll joint of the rent the lease rims, hop over to your renter center, your wherever the furniture store, and go do your little couple months and pay your furniture off. Go downtown in your town and go register to go be go register to be tax exempt, so you're teaching in the church, and then boom, because that's all you're doing. Until you do it, until you take the steps, until you actually look at it and start doing that shit or looking at it from that angle of understanding it, all you're fucking doing is prolonging and reinforcing what the fuck it is. In the news now, they got fucking Kanye West talking about he's saved and this motherfucker's now tax exempt because he's walking around doing his thing. I admire Kanye for his chaos energy because he's doing exactly what the fuck he needs to do that works for him, that constantly gives him the same thing he's always getting. Every fucking time. He found his he found his science. He's working his magic based on what he's doing where it's at. So what are you really upset with? I can never see myself doing some shit like that. That's beneath me. Okay, cool. If it's beneath you, why the fuck is it bothering you? Oh man, because man, that's hurting our people. It's showing you exactly what you need to know about your people. Your people. Because they're your people, they're on your vibration, they're on your wavelength. That wouldn't even matter. It doesn't matter. I look at that shit and that's funny to me. Like I'm seeing Kanye like, okay, cool. Cause now I can go back, but like this nigga did write Jesus Walks. The nigga did write Jesus Walks. That nigga did use a lot of gospel samples on a lot of his music. But that nigga had the big hooroo bird around his neck when he did the power song. Okay. Okay. They gave you an image to root for, and then you got mad when it changed. They're giving you shit to root for, then you get there's shit that come in your life that you used to worship. You're so used to worshiping something outside of your fucking self, and the shit that looked like that. Now you're still trying to do this. You're now stuck on worshiping. There's only one thing you should be worshiping in your life. There's only one thing that matters in your life that you should worship. There's only one thing in your life that should even matter that has the benefit of making you actually fucking care. And that's everything that you're building in your universe. That's everything that you're building on your level of life where you're at in yourself. Anything outside of you is an enemy at a point in time. It becomes an enemy. It either lives long enough being the hero, or either you die being the hero, or you live long enough to become the villain. Read the story backwards. Why do you think, and I just thought about that, why do you think Arabic is written backwards? Because what it was translated from was written backwards, so you understand the point. It's fragments. It's backwards for a reason. Because you got to go through this part to get to that part. What's behind that? So the motherfuckers that are stuck on Ra, Osiris, and all the fucking sun Patreon, they won't go to the dark Patreon. They won't go to the darkness. They won't talk about Set. They won't talk about the Typhonians. They won't talk about that. Bobby Hemmett breaks that down. That's the true side. That's where it started from. From dark comes the light. You sitting there waiting on a sign, it's going to come in the dark. You wanting that sign, ancestor, show me some shit. It's going to come in the dark. It ain't going to come through the light. It ain't going to come in the nice. It isn't going to come like a falling star from the sky. It's going to come in the dark shit that you haven't worked on yet. That's where it's going to come from. It's going to come from the darkest dark. It's going to come from that space because that's the only space that it can come from. The shit that you ain't wanting to deal with, that shadow work I keep telling everybody about, that shit that you don't want to deal with, that's where all your answers are. That big ass door right there that yourself marked, because you're the priest or the priestess, that you mark with some scary ass image that won't let you go past it. Only your higher self can go through that door. That's the door you need to go through. That's similar to if I show you a symbol, like when I did the Welcome to the Gates lecture, and I also did a hoodie for that. That's on my clothing site. I showed somebody that image the other day, and they were rocking with me in the conversation what I was talking about. It was very impactful. It was very motivational. But the moment that I showed them that image, everything shut down. I continued doing my explanation, doing my clarification, but they were stuck on that image. That's similar to when they talked about, you gotta think about when they talked about Medusa was a woman for the snakes. No, it was an African goddess embodied, and she had locks. The reason that things happen on this level, on this wavelength that we're on, that we are learning to jump off of, that we need to jump off of, the reason that these laws have to come into place is to make you feel complacent in staying here. So when they made that big uproar, like for them to pass a law for you to wear your hair as it naturally comes out of your head, that shit should make you mad. That's the shit that should make you upset. Wait, you mean they gotta pass a law for me to wear my hair the way it naturally comes out of my head? They have to do that. They have to pass a law for that. That's somewhere I don't want to be at. You think about that. If you have to adjust yourself in a room, my man Mano said that they basically want you to go into a space to feel comfortable, to make them feel comfortable. In your life right now, people are in a certain space in their mindset. They want you to make them feel comfortable. You growing, you rising, you coming into yourself makes them uncomfortable. It's not because, oh, you changed up, you think you're too good for us. You damn right I'm too fucking good for you. These are the types of things you got to tell your fucking self. Man, damn right I'm too good for you. Damn right. You got to get to this level. You got to get to the level, nigga. Sorry. Not sorry. That's the way you got to think. Because guess what? That's how they're fucking thinking. They show you how the gods think when they go, when you see a movie like Clash of the Titans and how the gods feel, they're showing you how they motherfucking think. But you have to understand, In order to understand how they think, you must be on that fucking level. A financial advisor does not go into a lawyer's office to tell him how to practice law, and a lawyer doesn't go into the doctor's office telling him how to perform surgery. So why would I waste time going into Mount Zion Baptist Church that's been sitting there for like 36 fucking years and go stand up and go say Jesus isn't fucking real? The Patreons that have been going to that church have been going to that church for damn near 3 fucking decades. What the fuck? Me saying that based on what I have, even though I can have the facts and have the fucking slideshow, PowerPoints, and all that shit. What is the point of me going there and telling them that? I'm waking my people up. Apparently, they're not your people if they're not awake. They're not your people if they're not awake. If they're not on your vibration, they're not your family. That's how you have this is how we have to start looking at this shit. If they're not on the level that you are on, they're not your family. They're not your friends. They're not your people. Because your people are on the level with you or above you to take you to the next level. Anything else is weighing your fucking ass down. I gotta save face, man, because man, I gotta do this and I gotta do that and I gotta do a little bit of this. I gotta do these things around here because man, I'm still eating over there. Then learn how to feed your fucking self. We get so fucking stuck on being fed by somebody else that we literally are waiting. You would literally wait for a motherfucker to tell you that you're beautiful. I need no one on this fucking planet outside of my universe to tell me anything about myself. I don't need anybody to validate me. I don't need anybody to validate me, evaluate me, judge me, bring anything to me to say this is what you need to start doing. I don't need to start doing shit because I've already been there, done that. Apparently I've already done it. The only reason that it's coming to you and it hits that person, 9 times out of 10, when you tell a person something they need to do is something that you need to do. That's the only reason. The only reason somebody can phase you or control, move your manipulate emotion is something that you hadn't worked on. Because they're trying to resonate with the human side of you and not understanding the God side of you. So they'll put everything bad on, like, there's something like, and that man, he got devil in him. What are the attributes of the devil? So that's what we're looking at, the attributes of the devil. That's what we're talking about now, the attributes of the devil. Okay, cool. What are the attributes of Lucifer? That bearer of light. You have to look at everything from the positive and the negative. They gave you the negative plus, of course. There's a thought process to it. I was always validated into the thought process of death. I was always processed into the thought process of basically ever since I was like 12. I'm 34 now. Ever since I was 12, I resonated more with the villain, or I resonated more with Lucifer than I ever did God. Ever. The embodiment of what they said God was. as I got stronger and started actually kicking into my shit and getting into myself, I was like, I had a thought process. I actually wrote something. Actually, let me look it up now as we're doing this. It's something that I wrote into the thought process. This is how you notate your consciousness. I think it's in my archives. I wrote that shit so long ago. I know it's way down there. Shit. But oh yeah, I remember what it is. It's in my mind. I got that channel to it. Basically, I wrote the entire narrated, the one entire algorithm of the story that they try to historicalize was basically the devil wanted nothing more than to be like God. Their arrogance is your way out. Their arrogance is your way out. So that thought came into my mind. I was like, and I had that thought for years and years and years and years, but I never had the heart to ever ask any elder, anybody. I was like, what if what we're living in is a result of the devil winning? Since they say the devil is the king of all lies and deception, mind you, this was like 10 years back. What if he won? What if all this is the result in the creation of the devil winning? Having people worship him and follow him and all of these things, him in that aspect. What if that's exactly what's going on? I take that thought process, think about that. What if that's what that's really happening? I give you sin, and I say you can be forgiven as long as you come to me, I forgive you. That sounds like I remember, and then I watched Sabrina the joint they got on Netflix. They put it right there in your fucking face. And it's the Dark Lord. And I was listening to the narrative being written out in the dark in the show. And that was the validation. I was like, yo, this is literally the system that they put us in. Now, even if I saw that before I saw anything else, read the Hermetic text, read Gnostic text, understood about all the bras, watched any Bobby Hemmett lecture, Phil Valentine lecture before, watched any of that shit right there, that was my sign. Your sign is remove all the knowledge that you've acquired and you're acquiring. Remove all of that shit. The sign has been right in front of your fucking face the entire time. All the signs pointed to you anyway on that level, but every sign pointed was already there. Everything was already there, compartmentalized in a nice little box right there, hitting like, whoa, right there hitting in your fucking face. But the trigger words and the programs that they fucking use kept you from looking into it. They had to build this shit up. They had to build the levels in order to entrap you. They had to build the levels in order for it to entrap you. They had to give you their definition, even though, so they gave you a definition since you see them as a trusted source, they gave you an image of them being so trustworthy and they're not deceptive. So you don't go look for your damn self. Because Armageddon means awakening. It doesn't mean the end of times, it means awakening. I don't know how many Bobby Hemmett lectures I've listened to, still listening to. Go back, look at him, still laugh. When he told you everything word actually meant melanin. And that was just to simplify it. That was actually carbon. It was actually fucking you. But in that aspect, when they talk about the occult, when they talk about the craft, whenever you saw the movie The Craft and you ever saw these fucking witch movies and they doing these sacrifices, that's what they have to do to tap into the energy. Because they're nothing but literal holes holding into a spirit that when they die, they die. When they die, it's over. For you, you transitioned over and over and over again. For them, it's going to be one continuous loop. It's going to be one continuous loop for them. That's why they're so sentimental with shit. That's why they talk about their fucking baseball cards and their fucking football teams and their fucking and watching fucking sports all the fucking time, and they can sit there and go to a fucking NASCAR race and watch cars go around in a circle at like 300 miles an hour because that's all they know. I was sitting the other day, I was sitting at my job, and one of the ladies back there, she was a white woman. She was like, fucking is just fucking to me. I mean, there's nothing really with it. It's just fucking. I was like, oh. Now I could have easily went back and like, nah, there's a whole different level. And I could have explained the tantra and sex is the byproduct or the entryway into the tantra into the higher realms of yourself. But why speak words to the dead? Why give the dead this knowledge and information of myself? Let them have the perception of them to create the division. Let them have the separation to create the division that's in between us. We continuously pouring out our heart and fucking soul to the masses. To do what? Because we all supposed to be together in this. We're all the same. No, we're not. I remember looking back. I can look back, and I remember looking back at when I was in school up until college and just going through day-to-day life. And I remember I would look at the white kids with green hair and different color fucking hair and piercings every fucking way. And man, I'm gonna show my individuality. And I remember I was so asleep that I didn't even pay attention to. I was like, damn. But at the change of a fucking dime, they realized to get to the next level, they had to evolve, so they go put on their fucking suit. They'll pull their hair back. They'll put on a fucking suit. They'll put on a fucking polo shirt. And then they'll go stand in front of you in front of fucking Walmart. They'll look dead as hell, but they'll do it to make that paycheck. Negative and positive. Same polarity. Same 2 points on the same polarity. What are you willing to do to actually show your actual self? Your image has been given to you. So you don't know how to invoke your energy into the things that you do into your fucking life. A simple quote, the man makes the clothes don't make the man. Make the money, don't let the money make you. These little fucking quotes, as cliche as they sound, make the most fucking sense. Because some people still feel that they want to be accepted in one way or the other. Whether I take this nose ring out, cut these locks off, take the beard away, don't wear my fucking rings and my crystals and my beads, I'm still going to be the same force of energy. That's the ego. And letting go of the humanity aspect, anarchy makes sense. The purge makes sense because it is a physical representation of what you need to do fucking mentally. You're stuck in a position based on you wanting shit to work a certain fucking way. So now you don't want to go anywhere past where you at right now, because if you go anywhere past that, you don't know what's about to happen. Now some people are the angry conscious guy. You'll go take a picture, you work at fucking Walmart, but on your break you decided to take a picture in front of the tire department holding your fist up. And then you'll put the caption, they can't hold us down. Ain't no one fucking holding you down. No one's holding you the fuck down. What the fuck do you mean someone's holding you down? Nothing's holding you the fuck back. You just want to fit in there, then you want to benefit from there and get something from over there. Same aspect with Facebook jail. Each realm has its own guidelines and has its own guidelines, its own regular. In order for that realm to exist, it has to have. Everybody thinks in spirituality you're supposed to just float around and be all floaty and shit. That's the exact fucking opposite. It's the exact fucking opposite. There's laws and rules to each level that you go to. The laws that exist on the higher realm don't exist on this realm. So the laws and the regulations and everything that's happening on this realm is meant for this realm. So what are you really trying to fucking change? You're trying to change it to better so you can stay here? Because the only reason that you want something to change is because you want to stay there. If I want more, I know I have to do more. I have to expand my mind to more. I can't expect to just keep filling up this space and then it gets too fucking small, because then I'm going to start noticing that it's too fucking small. I only notice that the space is too fucking small when there's too much shit in there. Empty house, full mind, empty house. You walk into your mother house, your grandmother house, they got furniture from every fucking era. They got pictures and artwork from every fucking era. Shit passed down from every fucking era in their fucking house. It's a goddamn museum. And the live art that's in the museum is your fucking grandparents. Because they got to a certain level and now they're fucking comfortable. There's two things I never try to invoke any change in, ever. And I won't. And that's for the respect of it. I don't not try to invoke a change into infants because they little gods. They just now coming back into this realm. And the elders. You will not see me go into the First Revival Baptist Church and try to convince the deacon of 72 fucking years about some fucking consciousness, about being more aware. It serves me no purpose to even tell them that. Why? You're feeding your ego. Man, I went there and said, I dropped some powerful shit on him, man. I yelled at him today. Are you talking to him or are you speaking to him? Are you speaking or are you just talking? I'm trying to kill your humanity at that level. At every given moment that I get the chance to kill somebody's ego, kill somebody's humanity, I do it because it's showing me what I'm doing to my fucking self. If I'm not willing to do it to myself, I'm damn sure not willing to do it to you. That's similar to the thought process. You can sit there every single fucking day. You can put on all your fucking beads, all your fucking crystals, all your fucking shit. Go out there in the fucking corner and holler Jesus, 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 and all these other Jesus, Hell Hoteps, and do all the Hoteps you want, and all that shit that you want to fucking do. But can you do it in front of your mother, the mother figure that was in your life? Robert Panic said that shit in a fucking video one time. It was like, all this shit is a fucking act. At the end of the fucking day, the only thing that's solidified and real is when you're standing by it and you're actually fucking doing it. And even to that point, it's only real to you. Anything outside of that, all they have is the memories of a point in time. That's similar to like if I went to my mother's house and somebody showed her one of my videos or showed her one of my lectures or showed her anything that I've done, the only thing she's going to say when I walk through the door is, I remember when you pulled the chair in front of the stove and you helped me stir the grits or you helped me cook breakfast. I remember you never walking, you started running. Because she's on a level where she's comfortable, where she's at. Let them lay where they're at. The ones that are coming to the level, they'll come to you because you're building the platform for them to come to. You're building a conduit for the energy and the knowledge to hit to them. The same thing for yourself. As you're fucking rising, that's what the fuck happens. As above, so below. They're more than just fucking words. They're fucking spells. But you're getting stuck on, if I say it and I don't know what the fuck it means, you don't know what it fucking means until you apply it. You don't know what none of this shit means until you fucking apply it. You can debate back and forth and say the shit back and forth and debate with motherfuckers back and forth the entire fucking time. But until you're actually fucking applying the shit don't fucking work. It still can resonate as spookism to you until you demystify it for your fucking self. I'm an occultist. That's one mantra. That's one level that I'm at. My entire focus in that realm is to break down what's hidden in plain fucking sight. So from that level, I break down what's hidden in plain fucking sight. In order to understand what's broken down in plain fucking sight, I have to understand everything that led me to the point of understanding to that point. So when I look at my background and my degree in psychology, my bachelor's in psychology and my bachelor's in business, and how I can apply these to my everyday knowledge, this is how I move around. This is how I control my angles of light. This is how I control my angels. Because I'm a god, I have angels. But I'm also the devil in that aspect. You're the devil to somebody else. You're the negative undertones to somebody else. To you, Lucifer is good. The devil is good. Okay, cool. To them, it's bad because they haven't went upon the process of breaking it down. So their belief is still high. A belief is always going to be higher than you. I'm just trying to do right for Jesus because as long as I do right here and I'm asking for forgiveness and doing the Lord's work, I get to go to the streets of gold and the fuck I look. What? I give you a belief that's so far-fetched that you don't actually look at I give you a belief that's so fucking far-fetched that you don't even you can't question it. Meanwhile, in the occult world, I've built like fucking 65 over that 65 fucking 100 fucking different realms that I go to, and I absorb the power because it's a pantheon for each one of the levels that I'm at. When I'm not feeling good and I need to heal myself, I go into the realm that I created for my healing. When I'm in doubt about something that's in a financial sense, I go to the realm that I've created for the financial and the abundance sense. These aspects work for me because I've learned how to apply them to my life. So I'm living in my spiritual encompassment. That's the thing the LGBT community is. That's one aspect of what they're showing you. On the positive note, damn, them motherfuckers is everywhere because they living in their shit. On the negative side, they have to validate and fight to live in their shit. How do you think it exists in this realm? The only things that can exist in a space or live in a certain space must have threads within that level. The only time something can exist in a certain level is because it has traces of it in that level. It has traces of it in that fucking realm. The chaos that created everything, the chaos energy that we are, the reason that we're able to exist in this plane and exist on all the planes, and we can go to the highest planes, is because it's made of us. In your, like, that means literally in the physical representation in your fucking life, your alcoholic friend or your friend that like to stay fucking high, the reason they were able to connect to you is because at a point in time that was of you. The reason it doesn't resonate with your ass anymore is because it's not of you anymore. You went leveled up. You leveled up. Now you have two choices. Either I'm going to level back down and be mad at myself, or I'm going to further level up to understand. They have you afraid to fucking learn because you think you have to pay currency. Nothing is free. That's a fucking lie. Nothing is fucking free. Because you either have to pay it, you have to pay some form of currency to get something. For that trigger to put in your mind that all you want is freedom. They'll say hashtag freedom, and then they'll put the American flag on that bitch. Hashtag freedom. You want that freedom of speech? This is what we went to freedom of speech for. But the moment that you start exercising the rights that are based on that, that's when they get upset. That means that's not really what it was for. It was a giant ass fucking campaign to get your energy siphoned into it. When they did 9/11, that's what 9/11 was. Because now every time you hear the words 9/11, you put your energy into that fucking, you put your energy into the shit that happened with 9/11. Every time they tell you to forget about some shit, man, forget about slavery. You say, I'm never going to forget. You feed an energy. You feed the matrix. That matrix, that section of the matrix was made for that. Every time you cry about a Trayvon fucking Martin on fucking getting shot in the fucking street, or a nigga getting choked out for selling cigarettes, or CDs, or whatever the fuck it may be, and getting shot down, every time you cry and then you want to go protest and you want to go, you're feeding that level of the matrix. This matrix was built, this line, this entire illusion was built off fucking chaos. It was built off the backs of your ancestors going through a chaotic, trying to survive. Chaos and survival. It's a literal wasteland. They just put trees and shit up to make this simulation look good for you. Like, damn, like, we're doing pretty good. It's sunny outside and the birds is chirping and the dogs is barking and ducks is quacking and frogs is making their noises and shit. Damn, we doing kind of good. Even in that aspect, then they show you someone that's got shot. Stay in your house. There's a crazed murderer on the loose in your neighborhood. Everything is everything. The same thing, like you go to the doctor and then they tell you that you're diseased, that you have a disease, and then they tell you where it came from, then you're stressing over this disease and all the aspects of it. Rational thinking and critical thought is follow the trail. Now that it's there in your face, what are you doing with it? What are you learning from it? The worry is the byproduct. The feelings behind it, that's the fucking byproduct. The way to kill it is to learn more. That door, I have a picture somewhere. That door that you refuse to go through, that's the door you need to go through. That door that you refuse to go through, That's the key to your salvation. Because everybody likes talking about fucking salvation. That's the shit you need to fucking go through. That dream that you keep having about being chased from all angles, if you slow the fuck down, one, you got to realize that you can't be hurting your fucking dream. It's your fucking dream. If you slow your fucking mind and you do the meditation, you'll learn how to still your fucking mind, and you'll look forward, but like, oh wait, they're coming from the left, the right, and behind me, but they're not coming from in front of me. So maybe they're not trying to catch me. They're trying to stop me from going every direction but the direction I need to go to. That's in the physical world, in the physical form, all this shit is happening in your life. It's showing you where to go. It's showing you exactly where the fuck to go. All this chaos, all this fucking shit in the fucking media, it's showing you where the fuck to go. If I gotta do all this just to be considered fucking human, why the fuck do I want to be human? Why would I limit myself? If I gotta do all this shit for these people to be in my life and they don't have to do anything in that aspect of reflection to that, why the fuck do I need them in my fucking life? If I have to silence and put a mask on and do all these things to fit in a certain space, why the fuck do I want to be a part of that? That's when you become the glitch. That's when motherfuckers are going to start that's when motherfuckers are going to start, if they already started looking at you. These motherfuckers look at you like you've lost your fucking mind, but you're above where you're at. You've outgrown that space. Anybody familiar with the hermit? I have it somewhere in my phone. We're going to look for it right now. If anybody's familiar with the hermit, it's somewhere in here. If anybody's familiar with the hermit, we're going to keep repeating until I find it. That way we don't lose our train of thought, because I do that from time to time. Is that the one I wanted to read? There it is. Yep, here it is. The Hermit. The Hermit Tarot card. The depiction of the old man carrying a staff in one hand and the lit lantern consisted of a 6-pointed star in the other hand, and most of the cards. The meaning: the Hermit suggests that you are in a phase of introspection where you are drawing your attention inwards and looking for answers within. You are in the need of a period of inner reflection away from your current demands of your position. The upward, if you see the card, the upright card, soul searching, introspection, solitude, withdrawn from society, meditation. There's more. Wait, there's more. Oh, that did show me all that. Reverse card, misfit, withdrawing from loved ones, exile, sadness, and loneliness. The element is the earth. The ruling planet is Mercury retrograde. Next card on the Wheel of Fortune. Everything is your sign. You're going through these. All this shit was divinely written into your script. You just have to pay attention. You have to tap into it. You feeling lost in anxiety because you're not tapping into it. That's the aspect of the reality for your life to go to the next level. You are coming to a period in time, you're going to come to those periods in time where shit is going to be shown to you to take you to your next level. Everything that's behind that shit, you got to let come out. It comes to a point in time. All your worries are traumas from your childhood. And when I say childhood, I don't mean your childhood as in when you were a kid. I mean your childhood as into your old self. Your older self is your child. Your inner self is your child. That's the one you have to discipline. That's why for the ones that have children, if you have children or you're around children, and their unruliness and they're not wanting to listen and they're not wanting to participate and they're not wanting to go into certain aspects, those are the things that are being shown to you about your changes. Children are the direct reflection of your God self. Because before indoctrination, before you were giving your name and all the other shit and told no and don't stand on the TV and jump off and don't go eat bugs and don't eat all this shit and don't keep rocks in your fucking pocket, which is crazy having the shit that you were told not to do. You do now anyway. You wear your fucking rocks. You wear fucking stones. You're going back to your natural self. You're going back to your childlike self. So all the things that you're feeling at this point in time in your life, these are the things that your inner child has not dealt with yet, that you're not dealing with. These are the things you have to deal with. Those angers, those traumatic events, anything that happened to you in your fucking past, those are the things you have to deal with first. You cannot skip steps. Because if you start skipping steps in this shit, it's going to fuck you up. Everybody talks about dark side and entities and evil forces and all these malicious energies. No. Shit ain't fucking evil. It's shit that you ain't fucking dealt with. So it's going to show its face because it's stronger than you. It's stronger than you. In that aspect of itself, it's stronger than you because you haven't dealt with it yet. Similar to like in the dream, you know, in your dream, if I pitch myself and I got to pitch, it doesn't hurt. I can't get hurt in my fucking dream. That's the real shit. Everything that happens here is everything here is a counterpart of what happened in your fucking dream. The more you fucking understand, the more you can navigate through the shit. So if you can't navigate in your own fucking dream, how the fuck do you expect to navigate on this fucking prison planet? If you can't navigate here, you can't navigate your own mind. How the fuck do you expect to navigate life in this prison planet? How can you not, if you can't navigate what's in here and get through this shit and work on the shit in here, everything outside of you is a reflection of everything that you ain't taking care of or everything that you got to face. Every doubt, every worry, every stress, everything that's going on in your fucking life is based upon the reflection of things within yourself. As within is as within, as without, as above, as below. Do it thou wilt. All these occult terms, those are the keys. So that further leads you into, when you proving a case, the facts that flow out, that I want to go into the dark side, man. I love this peace and light. I like the peace and light. I like the peace and light. I love the peace and light. That's nice. Whose light are you fucking sustaining? It ain't yours. Because yours is in the darkness of the dark. You ain't even got to your light yet. Because you ain't even got to the dark yet. You won't even look back at your own fucking shadow. But you want to go do a fucking moon ritual. Then you get upset when you come into the realm of the sisters and the brothers that do tarot card work and do this type of work, and we do these type of things, and then you get upset at us when we give you the fucking information that we gave you. We know how to read in that fucking realm. So of course the information we're giving you was fucking fact. We didn't make it up. That's for the ones that are not making it up. All the other ones, you can tell by how they feed their ego. But yeah, you getting stuck like, nah, I don't like that motherfucker. Nah, I ain't like that, man. Change my shit. I can't change what the fuck's in your life. I can't save you. I can't change you. If you want someone to save you and dictate everything in your life, First Baptist, I think they always accepted members. Go to a synagogue, they always accepting fucking members to keep their shit running. Go ahead and go over there. The truth about what I interpret when it comes to being in this world, living spiritual, everything that they're for, I am against. Everything that they're against, I'm usually for on that level of that space. But as I move higher, I ain't about none of this shit. How do you feel about abortions? I don't care. Why the fuck should I care? That means you don't respect the life of people. I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, in the aspect of me understanding that this is the physical body makes me the death. This is like the death. Why the fuck would I want anything to come in? If I'm trying to leave, why would I want anything to come here if I'm trying to leave? These are the extremes that you got to fucking think about. Let me slide back in. Damn near teleporting. Anyway, what I'm saying. Oh, taking yourself into that thought process for yourself. Those are the extremes that you're going to have to think in your own mind and create the scenario in your head. That's what it means about after you get through the meditation part and able to still your mind. You're stilling your mind and you're slowing your thoughts down so you can manipulate them. That's the stilling your mind part. That's what the meditation is about. The mantra, meditation stills, the mantra reprograms. Meditation stills, the mantra reprograms. Meditation mantra equals killing ego. Meditation mantra equals killing humanity. That's how you look at it. The balance. That's how you grow your balance. So human shit I don't even think about human shit anymore. Like I've stopped thinking about, I don't dive into human aspects of things. So as I don't get upset about, I don't feed my ego. So human shit on that same turn doesn't even fucking faze me. Mind me to get this plug. The human shit doesn't faze me. The human shit doesn't get to me. I don't listen to the human shit. Which means in certain paradigms and parameters for myself, I move in a space that is better suited as a God. So my energy is different. Your energy becomes different when you come into that space because you're not feeling from those areas. And the things that you are feeling, these are things that are resonating because you haven't dealt with them yet. Pure plain in your fucking face. There's shit that you just haven't dealt with yet. So you thinking that something's going to leave you or change or because of a certain space or a certain change of yourself, that's your own thoughts working. That's your own ego working against you based on what you have been through and you have not dealt with. Because everything can't be all good and everything can't be all negative and everything can't be all positive. It's on that same line. So if you haven't dealt with it, it's in your negative side. Your peace and harmony. Or we say your pH. Your peace and harmony. The physical representation of your pH in your physical life for my queens. When it's off, that's the physical manifestation of your pH being off. That means something's not right in your physical. That means something's not right in your mental. That means something's not right in your spiritual. You got to find the balance. It can be anything from the food that you eat. Remember, you just don't digest food. You digest what you see. You digest what your thoughts. You digest what you take in spiritually. All that shit's going to start fucking tearing itself down. That's the masculine and feminine aspects of your life. For the kings, that same shit goes for the young guys that are coming into themselves. That's that same thought process. The shit that you did before is not going to work in this world. You try to run game on one of these witches, they will hex you. They will use your own energy against you. Don't fuck with them. You know how many posts and how many messages I answer a fucking day talking about, yo, man, like, I think this chick didn't put an X on me. I'll be like, what did you do? Man, I ain't do anything. Nobody puts a hex on somebody or a spell on somebody or entrap somebody in something, not unless you did something that did not appease to them. So even if you didn't do anything, what do you think you didn't do? And then that reflects on a greater scale. You're looking at the fucking realm that we in now. The reason this shit can fucking work is because it's still locked on your ass. You still in it. You still want to be a part of it. The reason that killing and the abductions of our kid, they've been abducting. They've been doing that shit. That shit's been being done. The abductions and similar to the killings, similar to all this motherfuckers touching little boys and touching little girls and shit and sex trafficking. That shit's been going on. They show you that in Spartacus. They show you that shit in fucking all these fucking old ass fucking movies when they were playing in fucking Rome before they became before the Etruscans and who took it over and shit. They gave you their reality based on their history to show you their shit. Like, yo, this shit been going on. Because the earliest manuscripts about them, like, they thought the boys was fucking, They thought having sex with a women were having the sex with women was ungodly, and the only way to keep their seed intact was the shit they shoved they shit in some boy's ass. It's been a part of their realm. It's been a part of their narrative. So everything that you're trying to fight against is natural for this realm. So you, yes, become the savage. A savage destroys things that are not natural to itself. A savage will destroy things that are not normal to themselves. So if my mind has been programmed into nigger activities, guess what I'm going to destroy? Anything that looks like it's civilizing. I've been more savage. I'm savage. I'm no longer, when it comes to the human aspects of myself, I am a savage now. That's the level I had to work up to being a savage. I was already human. God, savage, man, savage, God. That's the process. You go through the process. You're now at a new level, and eventually you won't be a God anymore. It's just that's the level that we're on right now, because we're all coming into that realm. But I am a God, so I don't have to think as a God. Now I have to think as an occultist and as an alchemist. I have to think into the higher realms of myself. As I become more in tune with, and I tap in more and I go higher, I have to start thinking in those elements and moving in those elements. But it's all about the application of what I'm applying in that realm. Stop trying to fit somebody else, be validated by somebody else. Stop trying to put yourself in the aspect like, yeah, I'm gonna go over here and do what they doing, man. Cause they would. That's how you get stuck in a fucking time loop. That's why you got niggas walking around right now with no lie. Went to the mall the other day, saw an old head, had his pant leg rolled up. Couldn't tell him shit because he was invoked. He invoked his energy into his presence of what the fuck he was. The only people that will bring you, the only things that are trying to pull you down are below you anyway. So what the fuck does it matter what they think? The only things that are going to try to pull you down or trying to say shit to you or bring up shit about you or say shit about you to get you all angry and they're already below you. It's below you. It's beneath you. That elite mindset, that separatist mindset, they show you an image of a white man being a separatist, alt-right. My mind frame, my mindset resonates more with that in the encompassing of it on the positive, understanding both ends of the spectrum, than it understands the person that still thinks they're oppressed. Some of us get stuck in that, then you get stuck in that you get stuck in that wavelength, you get stuck in that shit. You will literally sit there and be like, I don't want to be nothing like them, but I'm not like them. So where am I at? Stuck in between. Say it to yourself. You're stuck in between. You're stuck in between it. You don't want to go any further forward, but you don't want to go any further back. The elitists, the separatists, the alt-right motherfuckers, the white supremacist, the racist, whatever the fuck you want to call them, you should resonate more with them. Because that's what the people that are below you look at themselves as. They won't say it out loud. The only difference is if you're willing to say it, then that's what you become. They're not going to say it, but that's what they're doing. The motherfuckers that have been going to that church that said they say you need to come back to fucking, you got to come back to fucking Jesus. Wouldn't that be the idea of a separatist? Wouldn't that be the idea of a fucking white supremacist, a religious supremacist? Like, so basically a religified supremacist? Wouldn't that be that aspect of what the fuck that shit is? Two sides, same coin. Two sides, same coin. Damn, I never thought about that. I never thought about that, God. That's how you gotta fucking start thinking. That's the extreme part of the thought process. If you're not even willing to have these thoughts, how the fuck you gonna go to the next level? If you're not willing to have these thoughts, how the fuck you gonna go to the next level? That's the whole premise of awakening and coming into yourself. You start looking and studying the shit that's in front of fucking you. I don't want to hear about another Willie Lynch letter unless you're bringing something to the table that I have not already found out for myself. I don't want to see another slave movie because I already understand that fucking narrative. The reason they can show you another slave movie is because you're still a fucking slave. That's the only reason I can show you a slave movie. Motherfuckers are mad because motherfuckers are actually upset because they said Harriet Tubman was going to be played by Julia Roberts. I was like, well, Brad Pitt played the Mexican. Y'all didn't say shit about that. I think the nigga played The Last Samurai. I forgot. Was it Brad? I think Brad Pitt played The Last Samurai. Y'all didn't say shit about that. But the minute they said Julia Roberts was gonna play Harriet Tubman, y'all got upset. So what are you really upset with? Are you upset with yourself because you don't have any fucking control? Because you've been people. Why didn't y'all get upset at the conscious community that y'all want everybody to be a part of? The conscious community for not making a Harriet Tubman movie. Why ain't you getting mad at the conscious brothers and sisters in that level for not making a fucking another Nat Turner movie? Why aren't y'all getting mad at the conscious motherfuckers for not doing what the fuck you mad at? But you'll get mad at them. Hollywood need to stop depicting us as being slaves and ignorant. Why? That's their realm. That's what they do. That's what they depict you as. It's beneficial for them to do it. So what are you mad at? You're constantly shown that this shit ain't for you, but you want to be a part of it because it's taboo. That's all it is taboo. You were told so long that you can't do it, now you want to do it because you want to be a child. So now you're a child of something, remember? That's why you're a child of some shit. So now you're stuck on that thought process, I do whatever the fuck I want. Because that's how a child fucking thinks. They think like fucking children. You follow suit. You think like a fucking child. I do what the fuck I want. All right, cool. I'm used to getting what I want. I want what the fuck I want when I want it. That's how a child fucking thinks. I get what I need when I need it and get what I want when I want it. It's all child fucking things. That's how a child fucking thinks. I'm not sorry about it. That's how a child fucking thinks. As a God, I realize that I don't need shit. I realize I don't need anything. I realize I don't want anything. And everything comes to me in abundance. Every intention, every affirmation, anything I set in my fucking mind, it automatically bypasses everything because there's no ego anymore. It goes straight to my subconscious. I created right there on the spot. Sometimes I still get a little woo out of it because sometimes I'm like, damn, I lied. Sometimes I lie to see how fast it comes true. Because even my lies come true. Nothing like super detrimental or anything, but like just to test my power. Because that's the key of being a God. You get to test and create, and then you get to test and create at your will, at your will, at your rate, at your waste, at your pay. That's what you are. That's what the fuck you want it to be. You want it what the fuck you want when you want it? Be a God. Create your shit. Stop putting yourself in these aspects of what everybody else is going to use to validate. If I do this, then no one's going to like me anymore. That means they never liked your ass. If a person changes the way they act around you based on when you change and become more yourself, they were never there for you in the first place. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Be the glitch. If your mother, aunt, uncle, whoever it be in your family is talking about, if they sending subliminal shots through your social media telling you like, if you don't believe in Jesus, I don't believe in you, it's doing what it's supposed to do. What the fuck are you heartbroken for? I'm losing family members. I'm losing family members. I'm losing family members. I'm losing friends. I have more awareness on my pages than I've ever had in my life. Because I'm at that level now. So what did I fucking lose? What are you fucking losing? You're stuck on losses, you don't understand what the fuck you won. You can get so stuck on the losses in your life, you don't understand what the fuck you're winning. You don't pay attention to anything else. That's how that shit works in this fucking matrix. If I keep you fixated on this image, on this shit over here happening, on this over here, I can go right over here and go through your back door into your fucking house. You don't value nothing in your house because you stuck on the front porch. You don't value what's going on in your life because you out here in the fucking club every fucking night. You out here in these fucking areas that don't have any fucking benefit. You ain't making money from that fucking space. The only time you should be doing some shit is if you're making something from it that benefits you. I ain't talking about piss poor benefits. I'm talking about like full maximum benefit to yourself. That's the only time you should be doing some shit in that fucking realm. Anything outside of that shit, the fuck are you doing it for? Anything outside of that shit, what the fuck are you doing it for? If it's not about some high level power shit, if it's not about me further opening my fucking chakras, if it's not about me taking myself to the next level, I don't give a fuck about it. If it's something that's not showing me, it is not taking me to the next level, expounding my intelligence, taking me to the next level for myself, helping me build some shit more, I don't give a fuck about it. Friend, family, person, place, thing, dog, cat, I don't give a fuck about it. I'll sacrifice it. Because I know ultimately what I'm doing, that's that place of knowing, not thinking, not believing, not having faith. I know what I'm doing is going to ultimately open up exactly what needs to happen next. It's doing what it's supposed to do. If I'm not doing it, then who else is doing it? If I'm allowing someone else to dictate and do it, then I have to accept I have to accept everything of this person's methodology, thought process, dictating everything that I'm doing in order for me to get to it. So why don't I get to it first? Everybody talking about, I want to go get the bag. I'm trying to get the bag. I'm trying to get the bag. You work on your fucking own gift. Guess what? The bag comes naturally. You get the bag first. You work on your talents and you work on your fucking self. Everything comes to you first because you get what's meant for you, nobody else. You don't get secondhand shit. I know your thought. You mad and you mad too. Cause you bought everything used to buy it all brand new. That's the mindset you need to be in. Secondhand shit ain't for you. You above that shit. They got you on this outward thought of being humble when you should be humble only to yourself. You should only be humble to your own learning. You should only be humble to your own fucking heart. You should only be humble to your fucking self. To everybody else, be a fucking savage. They already think you a savage. They already think you fucking crazy. Become the attributes of the ideal in front of you in order to move forward. Become the attributes of what is in front of you to move forward. Show them fucking selves. Show them their fucking selves. Because from your angle, you look fucking stupid. Still believing that something's going to come save you. From my angle, guess what? Since you think something's coming to come save you, everything I know that's going to benefit me, helping and saving my fucking self, is more for me. It's more for me. Go ahead, think the witches is crazy. More for me. That's how you gotta think. It's more for you then. Be the glitch. It's more for you. The path less traveled is more rewarding. You trying to herd everybody up. We're all gonna go to the light. I'll be the only one sitting there. I hear shit like that, and I'm like, yeah, nigga, I need to run. Because that's not what I'm about. That's not what I'm about. That's not my mindset. That's not where I'm at. That's not where my mentality is at anymore. So everything that reflects around me is different. Everything that reflects around me is different. It's a different energy. It's a different vibe. It's a whole different vibe up here. I don't have to do things to have the feeling of certain things anymore with certain people. I don't have to do certain things anymore. It doesn't fucking resonate with me. It doesn't matter. I'm at a different fucking level. So the shit you got to do down there, the shit the motherfuckers are doing down there, let them eat cake. I'm getting the stuff that they gotta take all the ingredients. They gotta take the byproducts of your level, the byproducts of the level that I'm on. They gotta take the byproducts and put it together to make something mundane. So they need the bud. They need to smoke weed every fucking day. They need to drink. They need to have meaningless sex. They need to have those things because that makes them feel that gives them a small window into the realm that I'm already on. That's the mindset. That's the thought process that you need to gravitate to. Stop waiting for other motherfuckers to get to where you at. Because if you're waiting on them to get to where you at, okay, we're all here and let's all go. Now you have to wait. Now you're going to risk your waiting on them to get to your level to understand everything that they go through to get to your fucking level. And now you sitting there and they're like, damn, this ain't it. And you like, nah, it ain't it. And you wasted all that fucking time waiting on them motherfuckers to get to your fucking level. If they meant to be there, they'll be there. You gotta let go of, man, I'm tired of debt. Dead relationships have to happen. The dead relationships, the dead energy, let that dead weight fall the fuck off. Which reminds me of what the fuck I wrote last year. We're actually gonna go into the Facebook mainframe with myself. I wrote this back then. They go away from that video so I don't sit there and fuck up. All right, go here. Memories. Last year was mad crazy for me. A year ago, I was posting shit about the truth about Thanksgiving and that's coming up. The David Banner joint, he said the white supremacy march leader, tearful, fearful. About the first Black Friday, all types of shit like that. I was talking about the cancer shit. Got Cancer Milk does number one carrier promoting hormone. One cancer promoting hormone triggered in the human body is by all cow milk, regardless of whether or not it's organic, free range, or even hormone free. Begin to see yourself as a soul. Begin to see yourself as a soul with a body, and rather than a body with a soul. Powerful shit. Powerful shit. And I was still putting shit like that. Was around last time. That's that time they put that video thing up with Drake, and he was working out, and they had that dude on, so like he was getting knocked out from the back. Religion is regarded by the common people as true, by the wise as false, as by the rulers as useful. Ooh. Oh, so I wrote this 4 years ago, actually. So it was 2015. I wrote New Mind. I read New Mind, New Moves, New Money. The mantra for 2016. In order to accomplish this, I must remove all dead weight and shed thoughts, feelings of the past. I am to move forward as a king. None of this real nigga bullshit. Because what you say is what you become. I know I'm not above no one, but I know that I'm a king, that I'm not like them. I know that I am of, but I'm not a part of it. Everything that you say, you become. You speak that thing into your mind. It's all in your grasp. You got to let it go to hold on. These types of thought processes in my mind and my mentality led me to what I am. You're going to get to spaces in your mentality and in your entire mental that are going to take you to a level into which you've never been before. There's things that you have never done before that takes you to a new aspect of your life that will make you go higher. This thing about the Armageddon, awakening, lifting that veil. We've been in the last days for forever because, yes, we're in the last days. Because when you step into your first level of awakening, those are the last days of you being who you were before. All they can do is repeat shit. They have broken your life down to the worth of surviving R. Kelly, a fucking chicken sandwich, and countless other bullshit. In order for you to actually move up to anything, you have to look at every aspect of what's in front of you. So if you feel like you're oppressed, you have to look deeper into the oppression or what's oppressing, what you think oppression is. You have to look into it. That's the only way that it works. So you have to get dirty in order to get clean. Because alchemy is taking the putrid or the nothing, the waste, and recreating. That's what soul food was. That was our ancestors doing divine alchemy. They've been doing the divine works. They were just showing you this is what we need to do to survive and take ourselves to the next level. Because they took what they had at that point in time and used it to survive. They did all this. They've done the entire survival manual for us. They gave us that. Our ancestors have given us, they've given us our great works and our great beginnings. That's just vast and behind on itself with that in itself. To give you that inkling, to activate your greatness, to activate that power in you. They gave you the survival manual. Everything from the revolts to everything, soul food, revolts, going through these countless experiments and all this bullshit. That's the survival manual. The protesting and marching, all that's in there. Our historians of our time, from Dr. John Henry Clark's to Ben Yosef and everybody in between, they historicalized everything for you. That's that aspect. Then our great metaphysical teachers, Phil Valentine, Dr. Delva Blair, countless others, Bobby Hemmett. Then Bobby Hemmett was on the later end of that spectrum when he went into the dark side of it. To understanding you have to go into the dark to understand your light. And then you move forward into the Brother Panics and all the ones that are that Patreon, all in that Patreon. Those are the gods of our time, showing us where the fuck we need to go next. But one thing stood true to everything that they were doing, and they showed you. They put in work. They put in fucking work to build that shit, to put that shit together. The shit that we're separated from, since we're so separated, remember, we're still separated from ourselves, is putting in the fucking work. If you ain't putting in the work, what the fuck are you doing? It's nice to be able to speak about these things. It's a great feeling. But what are you doing with it? What you're trying to do is you're taking the evoking and the invoking backwards. So you're trying to evoke spiritual energy into this realm and then invoke the bullshit in this realm to connect to it. When you should be evoking from your higher and rising into it. That way, as you invoke the demons or your dameons or your intelligence to understanding to yourself, that's how you're moving up higher. That's the fucking key. You're sitting here trying to put yourself in a mindset of, I want to keep all this shit looking like peace and light and all this shit looking motherfucking bright. No, I don't want this shit to be fucking bright any fucking more. The light hurts my fucking eyes. I need to be in the darkness. I create the most by candlelight. I'd rather be in the dark, secluded, with my thoughts, building shit, and then allowing that shit to be reflected outside of me in the manifestations as I'm putting in that work. That way I can actually sit there and say, damn, man, I earned that shit. All you're earning right now is a fucking chicken sandwich, the right to wear your hair to wear. It's always live. It's always live. You sitting there thinking about fucking, your life has been reduced to a fucking chicken sandwich. They give you a chicken sandwich, the right to wear your hair the way you want to wear it, But then look at what the fuck you lost. They put on the fucking stage and they showed you that, hey, being a part of our shit, you got to follow our rules or we're going to bring out all your fucking dirt. Bill Cosby. You can sing, dance, and jive, but the moment that you actually try to do something to own yourself, we going to hang your ass out the fucking dry. R. Kelly. The moment you start working on yourself, the moment we going to start taking shit away from your ass. That's the whole narrative. We own this shit. Everything we say goes. That's the narrative that they write. From everything from a movie like the fucking Mexican to the fucking Last Samurai to fucking Harriet Tubman. They were talking about putting fucking Julia Roberts in that shit. Now y'all motherfuckers want to argue about fucking Julia Roberts in that shit. The fuck? That shit ain't had nothing to do with your fucking ass anyway. So what the fuck? Didn't it matter who they put in there? All they're showing you is that they love your shit. They're willing to worship you. They worship you. You're still in fucking power. You just gotta stand the fuck up. You gotta stand up in that thing. You gotta stand up in it. You gotta show that you fucking own it. You gotta show that you fucking ready for that shit. If you ain't showing that shit, then what the fuck are you doing? If you're not applying that shit, what the fuck are you doing with it? Yes, I read a book on the alchemical rhythms. The fuck is the use you reading a fucking book? You ain't using the fucking shit in your day to day fucking life. Apparently you ain't fucking read it well enough if you came out with another fucking kid. Apparently you ain't read the fucking enough if another motherfucking person died. You a god, right? That means you can manipulate the shit around you so your environment matches your fucking thoughts. So somewhere there's a disconnect. Somewhere in your head, somewhere there's a disconnect between you thinking it and actually knowing it. You can sit there and argue all fucking day. The fuck point does it make? There's still, this is how you need to understand this vibration of these levels that's wrong. There's still motherfucking guys, there's still motherfucking kings out here that are still dripping off fucking ego, that if a queen says something about owning whatever she does to herself, whether she wants to put in the bundles for her protective style, and she'll say it in her shit, the bundles for her protective style, she want to rock her natural. Queen, you don't need all those things of the European mindset. Nigga, they didn't make anything. They didn't create anything. Only thing that they have benefited from is taking credit for your shit. Taking credit for your shit. The first wigs that were made is notated in Kemet. Oh, you don't want to read that part. The first makeup usage was found in Africa, in Kemet. Oh, you don't want to read that part. You bypass that part to get your point across. The first use of any hallucinogen, cocaine, weed, all these fucking drugs was used by us. We came up with the formula. We been there, done that. Let them have the shit. If you are embracing yourself fully and you love if everything you're doing is from a point of self-love based on the reality of yourself, I salute you on that. This is how you can tell if you're doing it for self-love of your fucking self. When you do it, you don't have to explain it. You can put a little clarification on it. But guess what? You're doing it for yourself, so you don't give a fuck about anybody else. So whether you want to go around and Jada Pinkett that shit one day, and then you want to get that Naomi Campbell special and put it down in your ass, Queen, I salute you. Do what you do. You're showing your versatility in your world, in your realm. Rock your shit. Kings, guess what? Embrace her versatility. Her ability to make magic out of anything that she does. Uplift. You talking about uplifting the black woman. Uplift the black woman then. Not uplifting based on your patriarchal thought process of what you feel comfortable with. You have to, when you're willing to uplift somebody, it's uplifting them based on everything, even if it makes your ass fucking uncomfortable. Because you have to get dirty. You gotta get in, you have to get into the fucking soil in order to take yourself to the next fucking level. You gotta get dirty in order to understand the shit. You want everything to come to you based on what the fuck you used to it coming to you in? Guess what? You're gonna keep getting the same fucking bullshit. Because everything is everything. Oh, we know he's gonna react to this and he won't be proactive to this. Let's give him this distraction. That's the key. You're already the fucking glitch. Just you being, just any coming onto this level of this vibration, the frequency of these words that are being said, you're already the fucking glitch. Expounding upon the knowledge and reading the Hermetic and reading the Gnostic texts and reading the ISIS papers and reading the broader files and reading Ben Yosef's books and listening to the Bobby Hemmett lectures and Phil Valentine lectures and Brother Panic lectures and all these fucking lectures and listen to my lectures and listen to all this shit. You're already on the vibration. You're already higher than the other motherfuckers. So guess what you need to fucking do? Move as you are above it. As above is you. As below is everything else that will trickle and start to connect. And it will connect based on their understanding of it. That's the beauty of knowledge being. That's how knowledge stays infinite. That's how energy doesn't die. That's how your soul glows. That's how that shit works. I don't want no one to be like me in that aspect. Because if they're like me, then how the fuck am I learn from them? I don't want everybody collectively on the same level as me, because who the fuck am I going to learn from? If we're all the plug, that's like you listen to fucking rap, you listen to any fucking song. If everybody's selling drugs, who the fuck is the plug? Message. If everybody in that realm is the dealer, who the fuck is supplying them? If everybody in your realm, if everybody on that vibration is dealing, or either they're engulfed in the addiction from either way, especially whether they're dealing or they're peddling, they're selling the addiction, then who the fuck is selling it? That's the thought process. That's that herd mind thought process. Let's collectively get everybody together on this same thought process. Let's get everybody lined all up in this thought process. Everybody thinking the same shit, because that benefits us. Because if I don't, then it doesn't work anymore. That's the thought process that we need to be in. That's the mindset that you need to be in. That's the key. We are no longer in the mindset. You should no longer be in the mindset trying to appease motherfuckers around you to get on board. The train, the bus, the subway, the ferry, or the trolley, wherever the fuck it is that comes every hour on the hour, they'll catch it the next time. for them as they grow, it's hope that they catch up to you. That gives them something to look up forward to. Either they're going to stay lost until they find themselves. Ultimately, you can give somebody all the information in the world, but until they're willing to expound upon it, they haven't found them fucking selves. Guess what? They still going to be fucking lost. So what the fuck are you holding on for? There's levels to this conscious shit. There's levels to it. The levels of consciousness are similar to the 7 stages of grief. That's what I wanted to, that's what I wanted to get on. The levels of consciousness I equate to the 7 stages of grief. Or yeah, it's 7 stages of grief. I think it's grief. Is it grief? Yeah. 7 stages of grieving. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Each level, and we're going to equate it to how it works. Shock and denial. You will probably react to the learning of the loss and numb disbelief. How many people were in shock and disbelief when they found out Jesus wasn't real? That there was no white guy coming out of the sky. First stage of grief. Pain and guilt. Your pain and guilt range everything from the traumas that led you to where you were at to the guilt of leaving where you were at. Anger and bargaining. That's where I notice a lot of conscious and awakened motherfuckers are at. They're at bargaining and anger. They're either angry because you don't listen to them or they're trying to put it across a point. And then it gets into the bargaining aspect. And that's where I call the Power Rangers and certain people that are stuck on certain paradigms or in certain, they group themselves in compartmentalized, they're bargaining. So they're angry and they're bargaining. So they're constantly on that level of anger, angry at the fucking world for not listening to them and not following their shit. And then they're trying to bargain with you to get into their shit. The life of the hermit, or what is depression, reflection, and loneliness. That's a powerful stage. Also, when you look at the 7 stages of grief, they also line with the 7 chakras. Everything is everything. The 7 chakras, when I broke that down in the last lecture, not the other past 3 lectures, we're 10 lectures in. Those 10 lectures of that shit. The 7 chakras, 7 stages of grief. Every level, there's a new level. Every level, there's a new devil. That means there's a new low negative and a new set of positives. That's what you're going into. Depression, reflection, and loneliness, that's that hermit card. Because you're going to go through that depression of, but what if it doesn't work? What have I been doing my entire life? I should have been know this. I knew better. I just didn't want to. All the thoughts that come up, you got to expound upon. All that, I get what I want, and I get what I need. That's what that depression is. Your higher self saying you don't need shit. Your lower self say, come get all of this money. Come get all of this pussy. Come get yourself dick down. Come get all these bottles. Come get all this gladness. Come get all these fucking chains. Come put 87 chains on your fucking neck. The upward turn. The upward turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. So shock and denial is basically your root chakra. Pain and guilt are the same things that block your sacral chakra. Anger and bargaining These are the things that are blocking under the same lines that are blocking your solar plexus or your soul energy. The depression, reflection, and loneliness, that's your fucking heart chakra. I'm depressed because I don't want that stuff down there. I don't need it anymore. I'm reflecting more into myself, so I don't need it anymore. So I don't feel alone around all this shit, but I am alone. The upward turn. The upward turn is when you start actually being able to speak. That's your throat chakra. That's when you're actually starting to be able to speak that truth. You're actually starting to speak life into yourself. You're speaking from your truth. You're speaking from where you're grounded in. You're speaking from that alignment. The reconstruction and working through, if that is not your fucking third eye opening, when you're learning to unlearn and relearn everything based on what it is around you in that aspect of that, that's your third eye. When your third eye opens and you're learning how to decalcify your pineal gland by the food that you're eating, the herbs that you're taking in, the spiritual baths, the rituals, all this shit that you're speaking through, that you're speaking and invoking yourself, you're evoking your energy, you're invoking your demons, and you're invoking that energy and downloading. And then that becomes the acceptance and the hope, or your crown chakra. You've accepted that you're a God. You accepted that you're above. I don't like using hope. We're going to say your acceptance. You're accepting the things. You're not expecting anything from your lower anymore. You know exactly. You're not expecting anything from your lower side because you know what the fuck it is. You're now accepting your role as a king, as a queen, as a god, as an occultist, as an alchemist, as a shaman, as a priest, as a teacher. You're accepting your role. Them 7 stages of grief are leading you to accepting your role. You have to tap into where you're at and what's being shown to you in order to work yourself to the next level. You already know you're the glitch. That's the title is you're the glitch. Now you got to go through the steps to activate that virus. The same virus that got you into this shit, the same virus that's going to get you out. Because within every virus, how do they create the antidote? By using the virus. How do they make the flu shot? Well, that's probably a bad example because how do you make the flu shot? They use the shit from the flu plus some other shit that you shouldn't put in your fucking body anyway. But how do they make cures? By inserting the virus into it. So they got to make you sick to get you better. So they're making you sick in their world to make you better in their world. They're making you sick to make you serve better in their world. In this realm, on that vibration. The shit that's coming up in your life, in your day-to-day, that's making you sick, that you sick and tired of. That's the shit that you gotta fucking learn. That's the virus that you gotta put into the antidote to take yourself to the next fucking level. Man, when you say that fuck that white supremacy shit, that's what you have to fucking study. When you thinking about the shit that's the traumas that are happening in our communities, that generational curses that happen in our communities, from the molestations to the rapes to the unwanted touches and all that shit that fucking happened, that shit shaped you and how you move in your world day to day now. That's your value. That's how you set your value. You set your value based on your fucking trauma. So now you connect based on trauma. Remember, we connect based on negative aspects. That's how you connect. How you propel is using the negative to put you into that positive mindset. I watched Paid in Full again today, and then that gave me a further breakdown. Those are the thought processes of yourself. Your animal self or the human. Your animal self is the human side of you. That's the humanity aspect. Because you ain't got to tell a dog how to be a dog, a cat how to be a cat. You ain't got to tell these animals how to be animals. You ain't got to tell an ant how to be an ant. You ain't got to tell an insect how to be an insect. It's inherently within them. A caterpillar knows when it's done being a caterpillar when it goes into the cocoon to become a butterfly. Those are the steps. You the glitch. Those are the fucking steps. Until you start taking the steps, you ain't going nowhere. Until you start applying that shit, you ain't going nowhere. Now, a person will sit there and tell me, you're supposed to be a motivational speaker. Yeah, I'm motivating you to do some different shit. My platform, the level that I come from, is from an extreme case of knowing. Even as I give you this, even as we're having this conversation, this lecture, I'm coming from a space of further knowing. For anyone that has followed from the first lecture that I've done on YouTube to the lectures that I posted on my YouTube page when I was doing the God Thoughts originally from my Facebook, that growth to put myself into that spot, you can tell when I'm speaking and where I'm speaking from. But it's all following the same chord, breaking away from ego and humanity. So since I don't operate in humanity and ego, I don't care about your feelings. I have compassion for what's sleeping within you. I can give a shit less about your day-to-day life, but I have compassion about what's being awakened inside of you in your day-to-day life. Because everything is happening in your day-to-day, hour to hour. There's no such thing as time. Everything's happening moment to moment, and alignment to alignment, engagement to engagement, activation to activation, transcension to transcension. As you align, that's what these barrage of shots is going to you when I'm giving you these, when I'm putting this out there to you. It's doing what it's supposed to do. So the ones that ain't ready for it, they'll stay away from it. As that priest, as I'm in that priest realm, the ones that get to the level of this, oh yeah, I like that, man. That's what's on that level. But the ones that get to this, they gonna start stepping back a little bit. But then when I start talking about that skull, because I'm holding the skull out to you, the skull being skilled, Brother Panic break that down, and I hand you this. This is that dark that they don't want to get into. It's doing what it's supposed to do. So now, when I get to this level and I show shit like this, and get deeper into the lectures about shit like this, and you go to the other teachers that are teaching about shit like this, you understand what level you're at. Everybody ain't going to be in that same fucking space as you. Everybody ain't going to where you going at. They ain't going where you going. They ain't going to vibe where you vibing at. They ain't going to get to the level you getting to. In due time, they shall if they do the work. But the key to that is they got to do that fucking work. They got to do the fucking work. When I look at my fucking locks, I've done the fucking work. Everything I do is invoking my energy into that physical realm. So I put in the fucking work. You can tell people about what the fuck they do and the steps that they take to get there. You can tell how much work they're willing to put in based on what the fuck they doing in their fucking life. If they willing to put in the fucking work, instead of going to grab these joints from the motherfucking beauty store from the Asian people, they'll take the process and go through the ugly stage and grow these shits. Because there's an ugly phase. It's actually time for me to retwist my shits anyway. But I actually like this feel. Like, it's actually time for me to retwist and roll my shits anyways. But that's the work you got to put in. Them stages, them 7 stages of grief, would line up to your 7 chakras, would line up to the 7 hermetic, the 7 laws, from vibration all the way down to motherfucking gender, all the way down to motherfucking cause and effect. All that shit line up. All that shit come together. All this shit is connected. All of it. Every level is going to take you to the newest realm of yourself. Ain't nothing more better than taking yourself to the next level. What are you waiting for? What are you scared of? What's holding you back? You. Take your finger and go like this. Me. You. Point at yourself. The only thing that's going to take you to the next level is you. Only thing that's going to hold you when it comes to that level is you. Only support you fucking need is your fucking self. Because the ones like me, when you do it, I'm gonna salute you. I'm gonna salute you. Here, smoke this. Here, drink this. That's what I'm supposed to do because I'm your equal. Because you coming up to that level, and I big up you for taking those steps. I can big up you, taking them steps. I know it was hard. We can share stories about what did you have to overcome. We can have them stories. We can have them conversations. But until you put in that fucking work, don't come to me. And the ones that need to have to do the fucking work to get to the level that we are at. I'm not doing this out of the kindness of my fucking heart. There's a process. And since you want me to come down from the God realm to teach you and give you some information, give you some pointers, depending on how far you're willing to go, all right, cool. I got you. Next week, next Friday, is going to be a very, very intense lecture for I want to say forewarning. For lack of a better word, forewarning. We've understand our harvest, but we need to start harvesting our energy and our power to that source. We've understood that their starvation, our starvation is their salvation. We understood that point. We understood that we've been entertaining our own siphoning for a long ass fucking time now. And broke that down. Next week, over the next couple days and weeks, we're gonna build up the big generational curses spot Because I know we have to break that. We have to get deep. We have to actually get deeper into that one with the generational spot to that. Ooh. Let's play some different. Ooh. The one I'm about to play right now, this little ditty we're going to play, is the Astral Projection Binaural Beat, and it says Beware. Most powerful astral projection music. It's at 777 hertz. For me, when I listen to binaural beats, I usually don't even see anything anymore. And the reason because I'm already of that realm. So like that's like something I've already vibrated to that area, that realm. So I don't have to do the certain parts anymore. I can actually manipulate the steps for my better self. But for the ones that are coming into your consciousness, the shit that unlocks, as I said before, that's the shit you're gonna have to work on. Surprise. Ain't no such thing as an obstacle or a hurdle. It's simply your learning points. Your mind is going to purposely slow you down to learn. But oh yeah, well, anyway. But we gotten all the way up to the gates, understanding the gatekeepers, and now we're at the Matrix glitch. Next week, we're gonna talk about sex. And the only reason I feel like I had to say this, actually, I didn't feel any reason at the point in time. I'm just mad and fucking excited. All energy is sacred. So all energy is exchanged. So that mundane byproduct, which they call the physical, which they call sexual intercourse, you have that shit every single fucking day. Anybody that has followed my growth and my progression on this YouTube channel, you have had 30 hours, damn near. Now I want. In understanding that thought process to the extreme, you understand how far you have to go to take yourself to the next level. You understand how far you have to go physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, all in them realms inside of yourself to take yourself to the next fucking level. That is the entire premise, the entire purpose, among most other the purposes of taking yourself to the next level. You have to be willing to take yourself from where you're at in this extreme downtrodden shit that you came into, to understand every part of it to take yourself to the next level. To understand that everything is everything is connected, ain't no such thing as fucking coincidence, ain't no fucking such thing as there's no such thing as fucking time. All there is fucking alignment. That's why I can sit here and talk so motherfucking, give so much fucking energy and not really think about like, damn, nigga, I just really, because before, when you look at a lot of Bobby Hemmett lectures, he was breaking down the pantheon of invoking the energy into the spirits as you came into your consciousness. Me, I don't have to invoke these things or bring them onto the screen and say these things because I do that in my day-to-day life anyway. So I'm already there. So as you're stepping into your consciousness, and I do the consultations and breaking down meditation and the methodologies, and I will be putting together that list for that understanding of the exact things that I will start teaching. You have to get to a certain level before you can actually start teaching it. And I've gotten to the level to actually start teaching it, and I'm very excited about being able to start teaching it because that's an entire different realm, a whole other set of 7 steps That 7-step program that I have to go through in order to get to that fucking level. So I'm very excited about that. I also like the way my hair looks. Look at myself on the camera. I like the way that look. But anyway, got a little sidetracked. Sorry about that. Accent my sorry. The aspects of going into your deeper self is going to require a whole nother thought process. Everything that you've ever done to get you to the point you are at now, take that times 10. Then take that times infinity, and take that times infinity. That's the intensity level. If you ain't ready for that, it's okay. If you ain't ready for it, guess what? You wouldn't be at that point. You looking for a sign for the next step you need to take? Your sign of being here, your sign of hearing this shit, that was your sign. That was your indoctrination. That was your initiation. Ready to get jumped in, nigga? You ready for this shit? What you gonna have to set in your fucking mind is, help me, Scotty, I'm gonna die. Welcome to your class. Welcome to the world of the beautiful darkness. Even more as I think about it, I'm thinking about that Kanye shit right now. I've been thinking about that Kanye shit the entire time. That motherfucker did the whole fucking thing out loud right there in public in front of everybody. When that nigga came over with the beautiful dark twisted fantasy, that nigga showed his growth for himself. And that shit works for him. He found his algorithm, he found his formula, and he using his formula. So if you're upset with this nigga for finding his formula, you ain't put in no work yet. You still, your little ego fragile. Your little ego fragile. Your little ego need to get broke. So if that shit's breaking your fucking ego and making you fucking pissed off, allow it to break your fucking ego, because that's what the fuck you need to do. If the shit that's going on right now in this fucking shit is making you fucking upset, let that shit fucking upset you. That's what it needs to fucking do. If that shit got you fucking sad, let it do what it's supposed to do. If you don't like it, learn that shit. Learn every aspect of that shit. That's the only way you're going forward. Learn that shit. Live that shit. Become of, not a part. That's what niggas are getting fucked up with. Y'all becoming a part of that shit. Y'all becoming a part of the Moors. Y'all becoming a part of the Moor science, carrying that shit on. Y'all becoming part of the Kemetic shit and taking that shit on. Y'all becoming a part of the Power Rangers, the Hebrew Israelites, in that shit. Y'all becoming a part of these things, and then you getting upset because you getting stuck. Because the only person that got you stuck there was you. You got stuck in the matrix. You said, I don't want to be the glitch no more. I want to be stuck right here. I like where I'm getting right here. All right, cool. You got stuck there. Now you got to uproot yourself and be ready to go to the next fucking level. That's what all this shit is a fucking about. Said that to say this. All energy is sacred. Your energy, your power is sacred. Every exchange of your energy. Every time you share your energy is a sacred energy exchange. Know your worth, niggas. Know your love. Know the love of yourself. Know your worth. Know your own value. No one else is going to be able to give you your value better than you. No one else is going to be able to give you the more love that you give yourself other than you. No one else is going to give you better than what you give yourself. Period. No one is going to give you better than what you give yourself. Everything outside of that is a reflection of what you've already given yourself. So you give yourself stress and worry, you worrying and stressing, everything reflects outside of you is going to be worry and stress. The only thing that's going to connect to you is the other motherfuckers that are bonding the traumas. That's how it works, nigga. That's how it works. You're the reflection. That's how it works. That's how you get what you get. You attract what you don't want. So if you want to be full, allow yourself to become, you got to get empty. In order to get a full cup, you got to get empty first. You got to empty the first one. In order to have that feeling of birth, you got to die first. Everything you've been given at this fucking point, that's the shit you got to give up. Whether it's the good shit or the bad shit. The same way you so quick to give away all the bad shit that you just had, or the negative shit, got to give away the good shit you had in that same realm because it's on that same vibration. Because you wouldn't have gotten the good without the bad on that level. You got to understand it's not your job to detox anybody. You can't change anybody. You can't detox anybody. You can't save anybody. Your only sole purpose is to learn from what the fuck the toxic people around you are showing you. So you know how to detox yourself. All that debating and shit, that goes against your self-care and your self-love. So stop arguing with the motherfuckers that are committed to being miserable. Stop trying to make motherfuckers happy that are committed to being miserable and they love that energy that they're getting from. Stop trying to meet people or stay where you at, hoping that they come up to where you at so y'all can go together. Let them meet your ass. Well, I found the hermit card after the fact. You got to understand, you got to realize, are you an enhancement or are you an addition? Most of y'all don't know the fucking difference. I'm an enhancement. As a God, on that level, in that vibration of frequency by itself, I'm an enhancement. I'm a creator, therefore I'm an enhancement. That means anything that I bring out is going to enhance you and take you to the next fucking level. So is that the level you on, or are you an addition? A lot of motherfuckers are additions. Let's talk about white supremacy. All right, cool. I'm gonna add my thoughts on white supremacy. I'm a fucking enhancement. So I'm no longer an addition to the thoughts of white supremacy. Motherfucker, I am white supremacy. Because the white is actually the dark, and the dark is actually the light. The dark is the true light, and the light is just a sustained burnout of the light. So guess what I am? Guess what I am? I am white supremacy. That's how you gotta fucking think. I am the demon that they want to call me. I am the savage, because I'm destroying this unnatural shit that ain't natural for me. You gotta realize, and this gonna be that night. We doing the closing. Any questions, y'all throw them crazy. Y'all know how I do. I like that 1111. Any question that you have, go ahead and drop over there in the top chat. Drop a question over there, and I will try my best as I do my knowing smirk to give you some insights on yourself. But you will lose people, and it's all right. When you start bonding based on traumas, when you start honoring your value of yourself and honoring your boundaries, especially when you realize you can't save yours, stop trying to do other people's shadow work and their emotional help. Stop trying to work on shit people don't want to work on for themselves. The emotional work they got to go through, you can give them guidance, but don't do it for them. There's a difference between guidance. There's a difference between guidance and actually hindering. They have to go through that shit. Let them go through it. Don't tell somebody if they're crying and they're letting them tears out and they're letting their anger out. Don't tell them to stop fucking crying. Tell them to let that shit out. Hold their hand as they get angry. Hold their hand when they getting sad. Let them cry that shit out. Let them let that shit out. Don't tell them to hold that shit in, because that's what holding it in is what got them in the position in the fucking first place. Stop seeking external validation. Ain't nobody gonna do what you doing for you. Don't nobody know better than you. It's inside of you. You can't find it, you gotta go deeper. You gotta understand these things. The biggest closing part was the God frequency is the revolution, the unity. We already did the marching, we already did the protesting, we already did all that. We built the nations, we built constant civilizations, we did all the movements. What we need to start doing is understanding and then burning this shit down. I used the Django movie, because that was like the most awesome thing when he was like, he sat there and he burnt down fucking Candyland Plantation. And then he was showing his goddess what he had learned while he was there in that realm. That's what we need to start doing. We need to take what we're seeing here and what we're learning from as a learning experience into our generation, our generating and our operating and destroying and creating our new realms. You only fear and hate simply from what not understanding and applying to the game, applying this game that they keep giving you, and they keep giving you the game, but you ain't applying it to your spiritual intelligence because you don't know your spiritual self. That is the level that we gonna get them. That's the next step. But you gotta let go of the death first. You gotta let go of being scared to die. I now understand that I've been ready to die since I got to this fucking planet. The only thing that stopped me was me. The only thing that had me stuck was me. The only thing that had me stuck was me. How Ace said and pay it full, like, who did this to you? Who did this to you? Who did this to you? I did it to myself. As the blood, he couldn't say it. He couldn't move his fucking mouth. You're doing it to your fucking self. You think about it. Myself, yourself, yeah. You did it to yourself. You made the decision. Nothing to spill no milk over. Nothing to cry about. What don't you want to do anymore? Then that's the first step. You don't want to do it anymore. So now that you don't want to do it anymore, guess what you got to do? Everything that led you to this shit is the shit that you're going to have to work on. Everything that you have whittled down to insignificant and doesn't mean anything, those are the things that mean everything. The shit that you put into that resentment category and the regret category and the guilty category, them are the shit that you need to work on, because those are the keys to unlocking your power and aligning you to where you need to align to. The understanding of truly not giving a fuck, and I mean truly not giving a fuck. I mean the entire process of being able to sit back and I can look at something on TV and like actually turn that shit off and not be mad at it. That is a beautiful fucking feeling. But it took little over the entire embodiment with whole life to see what was hidden in plain sight. But eventually, I'll say they condensed that light and able to understand it about 4 or 5 years. So I took my entire years of existence and reduced it into 4 years. Concentrated. I'm talking about pure concentrated power. And I took that. So imagine taking everything that's happened to you, every traumatic event, up, down, good, bad, negative, positive, all that energy that you put out. Imagine taking all that from just yourself, taking all of that energy and compressing it into a block about this big. Imagine them compressing it into a block this big, and I teach it during the meditation, the visualization part. Put it into a space this big. All the energy, all the power that you let off, and you call back to yourself. Take that block, put it right here. The next block, and when you break down the ancestry line to know who your ancestors were, I actually got that somewhere in here. Just to get a glimpse of understanding the power that you have within you. You had 2 parents. This is like the traditional, how many ancestors you would have. You had 2 parents, so that means you had 4 grandparents. It means you had 8 great-grandparents. You had 16 second grandparents. Your 3rd grandparents was 32. Your 4th grandparents was 64. Your 5th grandparents was 128. So by the time you get to your 18th set of grandparents, you were damn near at 1 million. Now take all of that power of your ancestors. That's that you know when you start looking back at your ancestry, that line, the Nat Turners and all that shit. Take all that power, put it in that block. Imagine putting it into that block. Now put that block under that block right there. So that's them 2 blocks right there. Now you think about these blocks. So you got that block right here, a block of your power, your energy, a block of all your ancestor energy that you know from your family line. Now take the block from everything that's been historicalized and put into that next block, and so on and so forth. That's how you build these blocks. Now think about how much power you have. Now once you realize these 3 blocks that we just created and started in front of ourselves, them 3 fucking blocks, that's them 3 fucking blocks. Think about how much power that is. And now you understand why everything is the way it is. Now, the only thing stopping you from tapping into that energy, simply that's your energy by yourself, your own block of energy, which is worth like 90 fucking suns, or however the fuck they say it on fucking Dragon Ball Z. Think about that. That much power. Think about how much power you will. And that shit ain't, you ain't even started doing the work yet to aligning and unlocking. Because when you look at the Tree of Kabbalah, the Tree of Kabbalah would be put on each one of these blocks. The cipher of the Tree of Kabbalah, the Kabbalah would be put on each one of these blocks. That's the cipher. And as you go through each one of these ciphers, you unlock each level of this energy. So you got to go into the dark to unlock the rest of these energies to make that full block. Remember, it's not a square, it's a whole fucking block. Think about that. So equate that to 40 acres and a mule. What it was worth at that time compared to this time. Think about the value of yourself. So now that you're thinking about unlocking that much fucking power, think about it, what it would take to unlock that much fucking power. The way that you can understand how much power, how much it would take to unlock that much fucking power. Think about how much has been done and programmed into you at this point in time to get to this level by the white man. Think about that. Now you see why you're at where you're at. You see why things are done the way they're done. Now you understand why you are at the level that you're at. This shit ain't for the weak. This shit is not for the fucking weak. That's why I tell you, the motherfuckers that are happy and they're good and their cognitive dissonance kicks in every time you tell them about some knowledge and some shit, and it resonates with them. Based on they need religion and they need a Jesus and they need an Allah and they need a savior to take on the responsibility. It's because that much power, that's the Christ energy. That's the Christ energy. That's awakened, that awakens inside of you. That's that one block is like basically 1/3 of that power. So when you think about when they talked about the 144,000 that will rise, when they talk about in Revelations, that's the 144,000 chakras that are in your pineal gland, in that little black dot that Bobby Hemmett talk about, that little black fucking dot, which is your fucking pineal gland, your fucking soul, your fucking true self, that Christ energy, that KRST energy of yourself. Think about how much power that is. That's inside of you. So even just think about that. How the fuck can anything stop you other than yourself? Other than you tapping in? Why wouldn't you want to tap into that? You want the best, right? You want what you deserve, right? You talking about self-love, right? Everything is everything. Think about how much love that is. Now you can understand why a motherfucker can walk the way the fuck they walk. Now you understand why the Dogon tribe could do what they did. Now you understand why everything when we put the monumental, put that shit to stone, so when we came back into it to look at it, now you understand why it resonates with you. Now you can understand the imagery that they've used. Now you understand the imagery of putting the gods of Egypt and making them white. Now you understand the imagery, why imagery is so fucking important. Because you just put together in your mind them 3 blocks of your power, thinking about every ancestor and their energy being transversed into you. Now you understand why they give you the aspect of death. When it's over, it's over. There ain't nothing else left. Now you understand why they do certain things to that aspect. They're not speaking about them. They're not speaking about you. They're telling you about themselves. When it's over, it's over. Yes, for them, when it's over, it's over. For you, it's just fucking beginning. Welcome to your new beginning. Welcome to your rebirth. welcome to the 2019 class. Welcome to you taking yourself to the next fucking level. Just speaking that affirmation to itself is going to take you to the next fucking level. Watch what's going to happen for you. It's been past time for you to rise. That's why you rising now. That's why this shit shifting the way it's shifting. That's why they push it so fucking hard. That's why they're doing so many drastic shit. That's why they're doing such drastic shit. It seems fucking drastic, but now they don't have a veil to hide behind. It's not that the shit is different. The veil that used to be there has been taken away. Every time you gotta think about it, this is how it starts. We are the spiritual energy. We are the spiritual energy. That's us. So just listening to messages like this, lectures like these, listening to Bobby Hemmett, letting that shit resonate and activate that shit within you, listening to Brother Panic, Phil Valentine, even listening to all that, coming into that realm of that information to yourself, the veil goes away. Now you're able to see through the illusion. So to the dead, you're right, it does look like it's turning up. But to you, you're more aware, you see through the illusion, that shit been happening. It's just that now you're more aware of it. That's your awakening. There's multiple awakenings. Now that you're aware of it, what are you going to learn from it? That's the other part of the key. That's the other part of that coin. Flip that coin. So they tell you the sunken place is bad. The sunken place is your subconscious mind. I don't want to go to the sunken place. I don't want to go to the underworld. I don't even live. I have a house. Got multiple places in the underworld for myself. Because I love being there. I love it there. I love that I'm up there, but I'm not a part of there. That's the key. That's what we need to start stepping into. Fear is simply lack of knowledge and understanding of it. They're children. They're your kids. Kids. Why did I sign up for this life? Why can't we just live and not go through the hell to get free from the false reality? Excellent question. When we were in the spiritual realm, when we were remember, we are the original people. Look at and break down like this. We were the originals. So if you're in a space where all you see is yourself, I said that earlier in the lecture. When all you see is yourself, how do you grow? How are you able to really know your limits and the next level that you're going to be on if you don't first go through the negatives to get to the positives? That's the reason why. You got to think about it like this. And Bobby Hemmett did a beautiful lecture on this. and I'm gonna end up doing another lecture on it. The spiritual world was the real world, or is the real world. I'm not saying was, it is the real world. For us, it's the real world. The way we feel, the way we sing, the way we dance, our rhythm, we move. Now, most people move unconsciously, even the dead motherfuckers move unconsciously to the 7 Hermetic laws. We move unconsciously to that shit. As you come into your spiritual self, 1 second. More of the same. Lost my whole goddamn train of thought. I'm back. Okay, cool. But we took ourselves, we had to make a decision. All this is prophesied when you read the Hermetic text. Hermetic text, Dead Sea Scrolls, all this is written inside the books that they don't like us reading. That's why they kept us from reading shit. They couldn't understand it, so then they made it so you didn't want to read it. The thought process is, in order to have that worth to ourselves, you have to go through these steps. We made everything. We created everything. We put all this to fucking together. But in order to truly value something, basically, you got to go through everything that comes with it. Everything. Because when you come into this, when you come into this shit, when you start reaching and gravitating to those higher levels of this shit, that entire feeling, like, damn, if I went through this, I can go through fucking anything. That's what I talked about, building those fucking blocks. Think about how much power that is in unleashing that. And not being able to control it. So everything that we're going through in this position, in the disposition of us, is to help us understand how to control that power. Think about it like, this. If I didn't go through the trials and the test that I went through, could you listen to me? Would you be as knowledgeable? Think about it like this. If you didn't go through what you went through, do you think you could actually connect to the things that you're actually coming into? Would you have a full understanding of it? Here's a good example. If I handed you $1 million and you never had $1 million before, if I gave you $1 million and you never had $1 million before, you never had any financial literacy, you never took any financial classes, you never took anything to deal with financials, you burned through $1 million in a couple of days. But if you went through the process of learning what it is, learning the aspects of what it is, you'll value it more. Think about the day-to-day. Think about your day-to-day life when you see people that as soon as they get money, think about the things that they purchase and the things that they buy and the things that they go get, the unneeded shit. But you look at a person that came from money, it's like a regular thing to them. Orpheus putting up light again. That's similar to the light and the dark. That's similar to the balance of the light and the dark. You don't understand anything about the dark because the only way you understand anything that there is a bright side is that you had to go through such darkness. The traumatic events in your life that happened in your life. The only way you can look up to the sun is you have to understand. The only way to understand the sun is you have to understand the night. You have to understand the moon. Everything has been, you have to think about it. You have to move it in that way. In order to understand one half, you got to understand the other part. Your purpose, and when you get more personalized into the purposes of yourself, and you start teaching yourself, and you start learning from them aspects of yourself, that's when you start unlocking your fucking. That's exactly what it does. Because if I didn't go through the things if I didn't learn, for example, for myself, if I didn't learn from the things that I learned through the traumas and the events that happened in my childhood and the things that I've seen and the things that I've been through, I couldn't stand on the platform of standing so strong against certain things. Example, my pops is a very, what I would call a super Catholic. You ain't tearing him down from that, period. You ain't tearing him down from Catholic and Jesus for nothing. Negative for me in an aspect now, but at that point in time, it was positive for me because I had something to stand for. Now, understanding that, instead of me saying, nah, fuck this right here, it makes me go 10 times harder for myself as I gravitate into the deeper parts of the occult, the deeper parts into our sacred knowledge. That same energy in belief has now multiplied tenfold in my energy of knowing. That's that. You go from belief, that same energy that was put into belief is tenfold when you put it into the knowing. That's the break. That's that break point. That takes you to the next level. So as you're going through these stages, it's similar to like you changing. It's similar to changing the thoughts in your life of how you greet the day, how you speak to the day. I don't say good morning anymore. I say grand rising, or I say divine rising, because I'm not mourning anything. And romanticizing my day, I'm ecstatic to rise to the day because I know it's another day for me to learn. It's another day for me to gravitate towards something more. So as you start speaking as you're going through the break, as you're going through the mold and you're coming yourself into your higher self, that breakdown, all that shit is needed because all that shit was housing the energy. All this shit was housing our energy. It was housing the powder. It was containing and cultivating that seed, your soul. Your soul's constantly trying to break out. But in order for you to contain it so you can actually use that power, you have to allow everything that was within to come without. That's all that all that anger, resentment, guilt, all that shit, all them 7 stages that's locking on your 7 chakras, breaking those alignments, breaking those seals. Breaking these seals are unlocking the God with that God energy, that God frequency, that Christ energy that's within inside you. So it's needed. Because you have to, like, just like they say, how is a diamond made? It's made under pressure. The best things for you are made under pressure. We've been put under this pressure by our own design. Where a lot of people are getting lost at is trying to wait on other people, trying to look at it another way. There is no other way than to go through it. Going around it, now it's behind you to hold you back. Going under it, now its weight is on top of you. Going above it, the weight's now holding you. Now you got to climb over some shit. These types of things are the things that are knocking into your mind. So in taking ourselves to the next level, is going to require all of this. All that sorrow, all of that pain, all that emotion you're going to feel, as when we broke down earlier talking about the 7 stages of grief, all of that shit's going to be needed because that's what's going to make you take you to the next. That's what's going to set you apart from everybody. That's what's going to set you apart. Remember how I always break down their arrogance. Their arrogance is going to be your escape. Their pride is going to be your right. Their pride is going to be, it's the weight of the balance. So it's like their pride is over here. Their pride is up here. Your fall, your demeanor is down here. As their pride falls, all that shit that they put on you, the balance resets itself until the scale automatically tilts and that breaks off. In order to bring balance, seeing that they're still an imbalance because now you're up here and their pride brought them down here. What you have to find is the balance of understanding these things to bring that harmony. That's where that balance of that's where that harmony comes from. When you build that balance, now you build that bridge in order for you to stand on. The only things that can stand are in balance. The only things that stand in true power are in balance with themselves. They understand the light and the dark. Choosing one side or the other isn't the key. We have to take ourselves into the mental mind state and the mental mindscape of understanding all of it to do away with it. Because once you understand it, you don't need it anymore. That's how you rise to the next level. Right now, a lot of people, they're 1 foot in the grave. Okay, I'm halfway in, I'm halfway out. And that's when you see a lot of people in their aspects of themselves, their life is in that same turmoil. But when you're truly on that balanced realm of yourself, it takes you to the next level. But you have to allow the steps. Duality, exactly. That's what it is, duality. That balance. I broke down earlier how religion is 98% non-spiritual. It's basically morality and humanity based on the books. It's basically after the breakdown, after the fall. When you look at anything religion, it's basically talking about anything after the fall. You fell. At a point in time, you needed the indoctrination in order to understand yourself on the human aspect. But as everybody knows, as everybody should understand, as a child, I played with childish things. But as I grew as a man, I put my childish things away. The same thing, thinking about the same premise. This is how you put all that together. The same premise of the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, and any of your other toys. The only way that you understood that your toy wasn't a toy anymore, because when you were little, it wasn't a toy to you. It was life for you. Your Barbie dolls, your G.I. Joes, your fucking Easy Bake Ovens, all these fucking toys. Those are that was real life for you because that was a part of your imagination. But as you understood it, as you came into understanding of it, you were able to put it away because you didn't need it anymore. That's the same process that we're going through now when it comes to religion, when it comes to all these aspects and all these fragments of our knowledge. Until you understand it, it will until you understand it in full, it will continue to resonate in front of you. There's so many things behind me now in the aspect of myself where I'm at now that used to be right in front of me all the fucking time, that it's sometimes even shakes me that I'm in a different space. But the ability, for the simple fact that I'm able to look back at the things that I've been through, and I can really actually laugh, or I can be like, damn, I did that, or damn, that happened, and damn, that happened. And I can like literally go line by line. It shows how strong I've become in the sense of myself. It's like I can give you moments from when I was first came to this realm. I can go through the entire breakdown of what it was like when I came to this realm, my incubation period in my mother's womb, all the way up to the funny stories of how I never watched TV. I only watched commercials because I liked all that condensed information. I was always condensing information efficiently, all the way up to I never walked, I ran. All these little aspects of my life I can notate, and I can go through the timeline of my own life because that's already happened. I've expounded everything I needed from each one of these blocks. Each one of them blocks, each one of them little sigils in the Kabbalah, when you look at the tree of life, each one of them little circles has, just like you're inside of us, you have multiple chakras inside your chakras, your hand chakras and all those chakras. That's the same way everything is everything. That's all that built down in that one block. So in order for me to get to the next level, I had to understand everything of that level. And I went to the next level. Unlocked all that to the next level. Unlocked all that, went to the next level. Unlocked all that, went to the next level. Each level required a different amount of energy from me, but I was being able to cipher from my own power source. And as you get higher, and after you knock out that first block, which is yourself, it makes it easier for you to understand that block, which is your ancestors. And then it makes it easier to understand the block of the reality of the illusion that you're in now. Each step is needed to take you to your next step. Because if you don't understand the step, if you don't understand what came before, it repeats itself. You don't understand what came before. If you don't understand the before, all it does is repeats itself. So this shit that's happening to us, that seems that it's gotten intense, the veil's removed. Now we can see it. It's been happening. Similar when I remember somebody was talking about, nah, man, like they've been beating us. Now they just got cameras. That's the thought process that you gotta. That's one interpretation of the thought process. Ain't nothing fucking changed in this room. It's the same shit. It's just that you're more accepting to it, and it's a bittersweet feeling because now that you are aware of it, it's going to hit you more, and that's part of that empath energy. Now that you're aware of it, and now that you can see it, it can see you. That's similar with Baba Dick Gregory when he talked about when he got on the stage. And like he had on they were like their loud suits, the green pants and the pink coat, the pink jacket and the yellow and the big ass hats. In order for them to see them, in order for them to say something to them, they have to acknowledge them. In order for us to get to the next step, we have to acknowledge that there was a step in the first place. In order for me to actually stay here and say I'm a God, I have to understand everything that came before me becoming a God. Because if I don't know what a God is. A God becomes an image of whatever is projected in front of me based on what someone else thinks. That's how they had you. That's how they create. That's how they started the sleep that we were already in our sleep process. So when they created the Jesus and they created the Allah narratives and they created all these narratives, or they created all of these narratives, and we were so far away, moved from ourselves, it became advanced, and they were able to use it to manipulate what they do now. Because they used that chaos of our minds not understanding to keep this realm afloat. But now this realm is constantly falling apart, and everything that's shown in front of us are the reflections of the fall. The same fall that we took is the same fall that's being replayed in front of us every single day. Now that it's replaying, and we're like, damn, that's just happening right in front of us in real time. The reason that it's resonating with us is because we're supposed to learn from it. That's that learning process that we need to learn from. That's the growth, that's that learn, that's that energy, that's that vibe, that's that rising to that next level. And that brings you into the duality of understanding the balance. That gives you to those dark spots and going into the dark and the light of yourself. That takes you to the thought processes. The process isn't needed if you're not meant to understand it. But that main thing we got to let go of, basically, in that mindset is waiting on somebody else to come with us. That's the letting go. The truth hurts, as it's supposed to, but it's to break us away from what we need to. It's to break us away from the paradigm of what we got so used to. The mind is all and everything is mental. You are the glitch in the matrix. You are the needed understanding within the matrix. Nothing else is going to be better than you stepping through it. Understanding that in stepping through it, even furthermore, even fewer are going to step. Fewer are going to step up, even fewer are going to step through. Fewer are going to step up, even fewer are going to step through. That's not a bad thing. That means more energy, more power for you to tap into. Remember, every 6 a.m., every Tuesday, 6 a.m., the God Thought Podcast, the God Hour by the God Called Alchemist, me, is out now. It's available on most platforms. That's capital G dot, capital O dot, capital D dot. In this case, it'd be hour. So when you look it up on Spotify, it's available on most platforms. My podcast is available on most platforms. Every Tuesday at 6 a.m., I drop a new episode. We are 3 episodes in on there. We're about 10 lectures in on here. So the build is phenomenal. That we're able to get this information out there. That's the main purpose of it. There's nothing better than you. There's nothing going to take you further than you. If you're not already subscribe and share. If you want to take out the guesswork, who's really on the level that you're trying to get to, go ahead and share the video. Let the knowledge do what it's supposed to do. Let you rising do what it's supposed to do. As you rise, it gets harder. Remember, heat rises. So as you rise, it's going to get harder. Everything that's meant to be will transform into fire itself. Everything that is not of pure to you becoming yourself will fall away. Don't fight the process. What a time to be alive. What else do I have to say? What else did I do? If you want to have consultations, any spirit work done, breaking into your spiritual enchantment into yourself, matter of fact, I'm going to type it into the comments now. It should pop up in a little bit. That's my email address. Drop your line, drop your questions, and we can expound further upon your knowledge, upon where you're trying to get to in yourself and rise into yourself. We'll build a nice little program for you. Because remember, there are multiple ways to multiple paths, but there is a process, and there's a pretty much straightforward process. Everything from the meditation to the visualizations to going deep into yourself, those conversations that you need to have with yourself to build yourself. That is the other part of what I do. I'm building just talking about the podcast, the God Hour podcast. Let's put that information over there in the comment section of God Hour podcast. Along with the other multiple ways to reach me. But as always, there's no greater power than your own power. There's no greater self than your own self. There's no greater thing than your own love. Learn how to speak life into your day to day as you rise into your day and rise into your greater power to yourself. I love you. We love us. Ashe.